And we're live. I just clicked. Okay. So when I clicked off of my mic, the deafen turns off automatically, right? Okay. Scared myself for a second. I thought like, oh no, it has a deafen this whole time. Sorry about the delay on... oh, I still need to bring it over to the screen. Gosh darn it. Hold on, people. I need to get off of studio mode. Didn't realize I was on that still. There we are. Now you guys can see us. I'm still learning to do the twitchy streamy thing. So sorry guys. And I was having trouble with my battle map. I realized I hadn't adjusted that and it was not behaving well. And I got very angry with it. So I had to call help. So, but hello everybody, and welcome to Chimera Collective, Darkness and Darvasta. So this is episode 3 of our little adventure, and yeah, that's I'm better now. Everything's fine. Rough start. How is everybody? How are you guys today?
Warm. It's very hot over here.
Pollen and heat are taking its toll on my body.
Gotcha.
It's like Mother Nature, pick one ailment, please. Either try and roast me or try and choke me, but you know, if you're gonna do both, I want money.
Fair.
I think we get your heat wave tomorrow, Fox.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.
So we last left off with our agents coming to the town of Darvasta and kind of getting to know some of its colorful residents, meeting the sheriff and meeting Trinity over at the hospital, learning about some of the concerns going on. That music is really loud. Let me turn that down a little bit. Learning about like some of the concerns involving a local minefield that people were recovering the dead from very precariously because of the mines and the poisonous gas. But they discovered from Trinity that there's also a bomb, basically an arcane bomb that is degrading due to the poisonous gases and can explode and caused quite a bit of damage to the town, and so they've been tasked with defusing that bomb by removing the arcane power source, locating the bomb and removing it. So to which it seems that the group has decided they will pursue in the morning after they've gotten some rest, when they can safely see where they're going, where they're stepping, since this is kind of a dangerous minefield situation, because you don't want to blow yourselves up before the whole town blows up. Lots of explosives, yay. He also did mention the Hellhounds to Trinity. She wasn't familiar with it, but seemed to indicate she'd be willing to pay for the services of getting rid of the Hellhounds. There was some interesting interaction involving Cephas and a little robot that they followed for a little while, and then running into Dax got a little distracted, but seemed to track the little clockwork figure to a grate that seems to have led into some sewers, but was unable to pursue further at the time. Karen got some cool new clothes from a secondhand vendor in the market square. Fudge, as usual, seems to be attracting animals of all kinds to him. And Sybil's been utilizing her information and status as a veteran around town a little bit. Crystal seems ready for action, as always. I think you guys left off at after talking to Trinity, right? You guys were on the hospital roof with her, and she just removed herself to go get back to work. So that's where we will begin. I believe, unless you does anyone remember going somewhere else afterwards? I think that's where we left off. I didn't get a chance to see the very end of the VOD, but I believe that's where we left off. Okay, so you guys are on top of the hospital right now. Where would you like to go?
What time of day is it approximately?
It's getting towards sundown.
I'll just kind of look at everyone after the conversation that we had. After we've had a moment to kind of process it all, and let's turn on my heel and start heading towards the door to get back outside and call out. We should go see Dax now. And just keep going.
Do we really need drinks before we're gonna go and look at a minefield?
Well, we're doing that tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, we definitely need drinks before we go to a minefield.
Drinks will make me feel a lot better about going to a minefield.
I mean, we don't have to get sauced, right?
And,
I think it could be kind of interesting to speak with his Dax seller, and especially if he knows something about that robot thing. And it might be a chance to learn a little more about, the town, the townspeople. So we could kind of have supper, but we'd sort of still be working because we'd kind of be trying to gather information, as it were.
yes.
Taverns of old veterans are very full of useful information.
Kieran
You don't
will,
have to drink, Kieran, if you don't wanna.
Kieran will turn to Sybil and she goes, "Do you still have a liver and stuff? Can you get drunk?"
Good question. I'm not sure if they left the liver, but I can drink, so we'll have to find out.
All right. So are you easily offended?
No.
Okay, good. So aren't you naked? Is that weird?
Matter of perspective. All the important bits are covered, aren't they?
So it is armor. I thought it was you now.
No, it's my body, but it's also armor.
So you're naked.
Whatever you want to call it, dear.
Do all the parts still work?
Can't say I've given him a try.
I will say, honestly, it's up to you what you have and what you don't have. So if you want to be able to get,
being vague.
I get that. I get that.
I'm just going off the picture provided on the card.
No, she is. Her armor is her body. You're not wrong.
Yep.
So...
Whether or not it's covering anything, she's leaving to your imagination.
But especially the inside stuff. So if you would like her to be able to get drunk, that is, you are able to be poisoned. So I would say that you have at least a semi-functioning certain organs and systems in there. So
Am I able to get poisoned?
you have resistance, but it's still, I think you have resistance, but you're not immune to it.
I think the only thing
You
is
have
you don't
advantage against being poisoned, you have
I-
resistance to poison, you're
Yeah,
immune
you
to disease. That's what it
you
is.
just
Yeah.
you don't have to breathe either. I think, or does that not roll over? Into
Yeah,
No,
no.
I still don't have to breathe.
Yeah, but she does
Okay.
have to eat. So
I do have to eat.
just to keep
so.
her organic parts
Yeah.
working. But yeah, I would say that you probably have, it's probably a higher DC for you to get drunk, but it's possible, is
Yeah.
from what I would say, since poisoning is possible. Just difficult.
I mean, alcohol is a poison.
Exactly.
We'll just call it advantage and call it done.
Well,
I'll be right back. I have to grab my dice.
Oh yeah, dice are
What?
important. We need those clickety-clack math rocks for sure.
How are your dice not always somewhere? I have dice everywhere in my house. There's literally no room in my house, well, my bathroom, that doesn't have dice in it.
Well, you're failing.
You have-
Why
you
don't
don't
you have
have
bathroom in
to
your
All in the same
dice?
spot.
Why dice in your bathroom? Failing.
you need, you do. That's the one place you probably really desperately need dice.
Everyone
need to be
rolled.
bathroom dice.
Constitution.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yes,
this is
exactly.
this is gonna be a bad one.
Oh,
You might need a
God.
D. You might need a D100 to pray to whatever you find holy. Okay, and see if it responds when you're
There's
in
some nice
there.
ideas. These ones.
Just
Yeah, my
say.
problem was I cleaned yesterday, so I put all the dice in one spot, and now they're not where I want them.
How dare you, madam?
All right, sorry about that.
So Zephys is heading to Dax's tavern, which is fairly easy to find your way to. Are you guys following?
Oh,
Yeah.
during that whole awkward conversation, Fudge would have already been several steps behind Cephas.
I'll meet you there. Like, if we're going to a bar, I need to get dressed. I'm not just gonna walk into a bar in like my adventuring gear. Like, that's just ew.
So you think it's gross that I wear the same thing every day?
Well, I mean, you can't. I mean, can you take that off? I mean, if you can, I mean, I found a place where they have hand-me-down goods. We can do some shopping.
It takes me a very long time to get it off. It's easier just to leave it on.
I mean, maybe we can put like a smock or something over you, or maybe
Tell you what, you find a good smock that goes with my outfit, and I'll wear it.
Oh, okay. And then so when you say that, Karen goes up to you and she starts feeling you for measurements.
You probably get a few hand smacks. It's a little awkward here, dear.
Well, I mean, I need to know your size.
Just pick up some fabric.
Want to be a smock? It can be kind of loose, Kieran. It'd be all right. Maybe something with a belt or something.
All right. And Karen is going to, I guess, if Cephas hasn't already started walking down the stairs, Kieran's going to follow. And I guess, is the tavern also the inn, if I remember correctly? Like, out of character, if I want to remember.
Yeah, the tavern is the inn. That's what Trinity told you. She said Dax's tavern is where you can find rooms.
Alrighty. So she's going to head back to Market Square and try and find some clothes for Sybil.
Okay. Are you heading back to the same merchant girl that you spoke with before?
Yep.
Okay. So she sees you kind of approaching and smiles, waves.
I need something for a friend of mine. She is in serious crisis of some apparel.
Oh, well, I've got stuff. So what you looking for?
She's got she's pretty much a fashion disaster. You have anything I can throw over, maybe like a summer dress or something?
I mean, and you're talking to this girl who looks like a peasant. Like, she has like a simple dress and like an apron, like one of those sort of like a babushka type things on.
I
But
know.
she has it down right now. It's just kind of tied. So when you say fashion disaster, she just kind of like shifts a little like trying to hide her own outfit a little bit.
Yeah, Kieran's oblivious to stuff like that.
And she goes, well, I have a selection of some belts over here, and there's some shawls over here, and there's the skirts like the one that you found, a couple different colors and sizes. Short skirts are you can cut them, the long skirts, and they'll make short skirts. Lots of blouses.
I am going to see if I find something that matches Sybil's eyes. And I'm going to pick out for her like a blouse and a skirt and a nice belt.
What color are your eyes again, Sybil?
Almost like a teal blue, like a really bright teal blue.
They don't have that.
I know. I'm just going for whatever washed out color looks the closest to it.
You can find sort of like a pale blue. Like it's like a normal sort of baby blue that's faded and pale, and it only has a couple of circular kind of brownish stains towards the back end of the skirt, but that could be easy to hide, and it has a little lace along the bottom. Can be removed though if you don't like the lace.
Oh no, we're gonna keep the lace.
Sort of, it's a bit pleated, so when it lays kind of in pleats.
Okay, so she just basically just grabs that, and she grabs some like nice sandals that well, I mean, as nice as she can find, but she wants to make sure that the sandal straps like go up the leg a little bit.
Okay, and she also hands you a blouse. It's a white blouse that has like string ties to it. It's like slightly beige, but it's like very peasant girl, but like crisscrosses in the front, and it kind of lays over the like will fall over to the side of the shoulders when it's on her. But she hands that to you and goes, "Oh, this can like tuck into the skirt." And the skirt is like a high-waisted skirt that has like a band that comes to a little bit of a point as well. And the sandals you can find, they're worn, like everything's used here, and footwear especially is going to be not in great condition.
I need mending so bad.
But you can find some sandals. A few of the straps look like they're about to kind of come off, so you're not so sure. Shoes might not be, I mean, her feet are pretty much set. They're probably going to tear into any kind of sandal you try to put her feet into, but the attempt could be made. Boots might be a better option. She does show you some boots that she thinks would be good, but they're also a little worn. No holes in the bottom, but the soles, you're not sure how much longer they're going to have life to them.
She said, does she have any like loose lace that's like maybe like of a darker color?
Like a lace what? Like a ribbon, like a band of lace, like just, or like a lace shirt, or what are you? Lace overlay, lace skirt.
Well, so in her mind, she's like, she's gonna eat through shoes, so she's going to make. I don't know what they're called, but I know in India, and Al Sharai is kind of like that Egyptian Indian type style. They have like these like fancy lace things they wear on the top of their feet, and it's not really shoes, but it's like a lace that goes up their shin. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, sure. She shows you there's some other garments where you could like remove the lace from around the edges to make use of if you like.
Oh yeah, she's gonna totally Hot Topic this shit.
And it's like really dark rust color, like brown rust color.
All right, she grabs it. She doesn't even haggle. She just gives her a silver, and she's just like,
yeah, that works.
And she just starts, and she goes like, Dax's is that way, right? And she points kind of where she saw Cephas come out of the alleyway earlier today.
Oh yeah, love Dax. Just keep heading that way, and around the corner. Right. Can't miss it. He's one of my best customers.
Oh, okay. So she just starts, heading out that way, just with like an arm full of clothes.
Thanks. And if you guys have anything you want to leave, old clothes that you come across or that you don't need anymore, please think of me. Take them off your hands give you a little money for it.
Like she just like, she waves and she like speed walks. I'm presuming the party is like either halfway there or there already, because she doesn't take her time. She takes her time when she does shopping. So
did anybody stop to wait with Kieran, or did you all head towards the tavern? Okay. So the rest of you arrive outside of the tavern. You see that from the outside, it looks like pretty much your average kind of wooden tavern on the tops. It does have some stonework walls, so it's like half stone and then half wood, with a shingled roof. And it looks to be about 2-story building, and it has a sign that hangs off the front that just says Dax's. Or no, it just says tavern. That's right. People people refer to it as Dax's place because they know who owns it, but it literally just says tavern on it.
Once we arrive there, I'm gonna wait for everyone else to show up that was following me, and then we're gonna wait for someone else to go in first, just in case there's somebody there that immediately engages us in conversation. That's not really Cephas's thing. So she's like, somebody else can go first just in case, and then I'll just slip in behind them.
Okay.
Well, once you like come to a stop, and Fudge is gonna stop behind you and then look at you like, what's the hold up, buddy?
This is the place.
You don't want to go in first?
It's polite to hold the door. And she grabs the door and opens it.
Fair enough. Not gonna frown upon some generosity and courtesy. So Fudge will do a little bow and then step inside, and Muffalo will do the same thing, like a little bow, and then stumble into.
All right. So you and Muffalo walk in.
But do you think it's okay to take your buddy in without asking first?
Oh, Muffalo will be fine. He'll find a chair and sit in it. So.
Okay, all right.
Most places don't have a problem with him.
That's not true. It can't be true.
Doesn't matter.
Fudge believes that.
I believe he believes that, but it's probably not true.
I guess this is one of those instances where it's better to ask forgiveness than permission.
Exactly.
Crystal kind of turns to the rest of the group and sort of does a whatever. I tried.
So as you guys funnel in, you are greeted by the smell of like some spices, of things that are cooking back in the kitchen, simmering. There are some electric lights in these kind of iron worked casings along the walls that illuminate the space. And the tables are a variation of kind of eclectic different tables. It looks like things that would have been collected, like pretty much the whole tavern looks like things that were gathered from an antique store or thrift shop. Like nothing matches at all in this space. It is, the tables are all different sizes, different shapes. Some are made of, different woods. There's a few that look to be more like ironworked or a mix of ironwork and wood. A lot of them have these sort of half tablecloths draped over them that are in various dyed colors, where it looks like someone has dip dyed a lot of these things, where it's like purple and then bleeds to blue and then kind of bleeds and blends into a white or pale colors and then goes into other colors. So it's you could tell that somebody has a very it's not tie-dye. I don't want to say tie-dye, but it's that kind of has a passion for color and are trying to bring this place alive and give it character in that way. There's some things in the shelves that look like random little tchotchke type things that he's purchased from, that you can see that he's gathered from various places over the years. So it's not your typical like, oh, there's an elk's head on the mantle. Like it's more like lived in, like different things that if you were to go to different people's houses and see various things that they would own, you'd see this kind of thing. Like there's a drinking horn on a shelf that seems to be etched and stuff. There's kind of like an antique clock or cuckoo clock on the wall on one side. There's this sort of like artisan's candle that's that's carved and weaved to look like this strange face on it. That's kind of off in a corner. Very interesting things. It's one of those places that you sit down in, and it's just kind of fun to look at the walls and see what you see. And occasionally you'll see some different things. His curtains also look a little bit of that dip-dyed fashion that are over a few of the windows. And the bar itself is this sort of like nicer kind of polished wood. The bar stools all have variously different like leathers over the tops of the cushions, and they're different sizes and different ironwork and wood, like eclectic like everything else in this space. You see that he has behind the bar, kind of off to the corner, you see like the obvious like liquor behind him, like drinks and things like that, barrels in the corner along with the bottles on the shelves. And then you see the other side of the bar has what appears to be a little shop where you see his like dip-dyed shawls and some shirts and some skirts and pants that all have that sort of like colorful dip-dyed nature to it. And you can tell that the clothing is secondhand. A lot of it looks worn, has some holes in places that he's tried to kind of sew up a little bit. So it looks definitely like things that he's collected and dyed and is trying to resell with this kind of little artisan twist that he does to things. But it's not of good quality. Like, the dye job is beautiful on a lot of these pieces, but the clothing's quality itself, you can tell, is like all used clothing that he's collected and made use of. So the bar at this time is, there's a few patrons that are kind of milling about. There's a few tables that are filled with various individuals. Depends on kind of where you guys want to go, what you want to look at. But it's not completely empty. It's not fully like crowded or packed. It's just like a decent crowd. You see the tiefling Dax, as I described him before, where he's got the kind of embossed charms chains hanging off his horns that go up and then curve back. I don't think I described his skin color. It's sort of like a really pale, slightly reddish color. Not quite pink, more like a very muted red. Like a muted matte red color to it, and green eyes. And his fabulous eye makeup, that he's got eyeliner on, and he's got his cool dip-dyed scarf, his fur belt, and his billowy shirt of cinnamon. And he's just kind of doing his thing. He looks like he's pouring some drinks and getting them ready. And his tail behind him is sort of like whipping around and seems to be sort of sliding a plate of something over further for him to turn around and grab. So you could tell he's used to kind of multitasking and moving around. What would you guys like to do in this space?
I'm going to look for a place to sit down. Is there like a table that's large enough for the six of us?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. You see, like, there's a larger kind of rounder table that's made of this kind of thicker, hardier wood. And then it has some iron worked spiral designs on the legs. That's sort of more to one of the corners of the room.
Cool. I'm going to just go over with Muffalo and sit down.
Okay.
I'll be fairly close behind.
Got it. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'll follow and sit probably beside, or maybe I'll leave a place for Kieran beside me, between me and Sif.
Okay.
See what happens with this.
And there's some patrons have, you hear the murmuring starting to quiet down as they see this owlbear kind of just walking into this space. And you hear someone go, Dax? And he kind of like looks up from what he's doing. Yeah, what's up? Oh, cool, new people. Oh, hey! And he sees you, Seth. You came. You ready for those ales?
Absolutely, and I brought the friends as promised.
Oh, awesome. And you owe me some new news about the fashions over in Al Sharai. You promised.
Right, I did say that, didn't I?
Yep, I need at least one thing, one recommendation. All right?
Of course.
Awesome. The rest of you, let me get you a round of drinks. And that's a big thing. Wow. What is you that's no dog. What is
You talking about Muffalo?
it? That's called a muffalo?
No, that's Muffalo's name. It's Muffalo.
Okay, and it's belongs to you.
It's an owlbear. And he's and I'm gonna give him like a little like noogie on the top of his head. The Muffalo, not the TV.
Okay. Yeah, I figured.
Watch him climb the owlbear to give him a noogie.
Well, he's probably like sit down. He's probably like the same head height at me at this point.
Is he trying to sit in a chair? Is he sitting?
I was gonna
chair?
ask, like, are they stools or are they like actual like wooden chairs?
These chairs actually have matched this. A few of them match this table. A few of them don't. So there's like two that are a bit hardier that have that like ironwork legs to them and have like a thicker seat. And then there's others that are more like nicely padded leather wood chairs. They're all, I mean, I say nicely, but they're all scuffed and scratched in little places. You know, you can tell they're all collected. Like there were pieces that he's bought off refugees over the years, essentially. This is kind of what you get the sense of.
I would assume Muffalo would probably go to the one that he thinks is the most comfy. So probably one of those
the cushier ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
And is probably trying his best to put his butt into the chair, and it's like really uncomfortable. And
I'm gonna give the chair a Constitution roll.
That's totally fair.
So you hear a really loud like, but it holds. and Dax kind of winces and watches this happen. And he goes, like one eye is twitching a little bit. And he's like, generally we keep the horses outside. And, I mean, occasionally.
Buffalo, he's not a beast of burden, okay? He is so much more than that. He is just as important to our group as I am. He's practically like you and I.
Dax kind of starts walking over, and as he passes, he hands out a few shots to a table nearby you that was waiting, and they're all just staring. Everyone at this table is just staring at you guys, watching this exchange. And Dax kind of passes those out, not leaving his gaze off Muffalo, and he's just kind of
he's keeping eye contact
with
with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then he walks over and he kind of like looks at you, looks at your group, takes a deep breath, and then kind of like gets to Muffalo's level. And kind of looks at him. So, trained?
Well, I wouldn't say trained. Muffalo's his own spirit, but he listens to me. He follows my lead, so.
Bears shit in the woods, not my bar. All right?
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, Muffalo has only done that a handful of times, and I've scolded him. He knows that me and him both out in the woods. I'll just say that. We both go out there, not necessarily together, but, we both know that the woods is the best place to do that. It's so free and like, you know that feeling. You've done it out there before, right?
I mean, we got plumbing here, so that's
we've got fancy plumbing over here. Huh?
I mean, I wouldn't say fancy, but it's basic. But that's my preference. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Why am I having this conversation? I'm not going to talk about shitting in the woods. So
hey,
as long as this, as long as Muffalo does not have an accident in the tavern, and as long as he doesn't attack any of the other patrons, and doesn't eat other people's food, then I don't really see a problem with him staying.
Oh, Muffalo's on a strict diet. Like he can't have, like he doesn't get like human food. Okay.
Okay, well, if he needs something, let me know. I can see if we have what raw steak. Is that what he likes? I don't.
Well, I mean, I pat Muffalo on the back. It sounds like you're getting like a 5-course meal here, buddy.
I mean, it's
Like,
not 5 course. It's
that's premium quality for him. He's used to like rats and shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't cook. I have some goat. I can give him some goat, but
Oh, goat. Oh, yeah. Yeah, some like goat chops would be great.
okay. Yeah, we'll get on that. So just keep him under control, and
Oh yeah.
So hang on, and he kind of goes back behind the bar and grabs something and wads up and brings it back, and you see there's this kind of green variations, green different colors of dip dyed, and it's sort of like this larger shawl, like almost like a little blanket, and he kind of, can I try to make him a little bit more civilized?
I look Muffalo like right smack dab in his face. Like, you cool with this, Muffalo?
I just feel like if maybe I put some clothes on him, he might be less scary to my patrons.
Or maybe more scary. I don't know. Let's give it a try. I'm sure Muffalo will be cool with it. I mean,
Right.
if he won't take more than your arm off if you.
He Dex hands it to you. Why don't you put this on him then?
I was totally kidding. You would totally be dead if Muffalo got upset. I'm kidding about that too. I'm gonna throw it over Muffalo and try to like put it like a little knot underneath there.
Okay.
And it's like a superhero cape.
Cool.
How does that look? Does that look good?
I think he looks great. Hey, if he ever sheds any feathers, I would love one, or several, whatever can be spared. A feather would be just great.
I'm just gonna pluck one right out of Muffalo.
Oh, I didn't if it fell. Oh, sorry. Thanks.
Oh, he's cool with it.
You have to cut the feather now, otherwise it'll offend him.
Yeah.
And when he gets offended, he shits in random spots.
Yeah, I can't,
I don't want that. And he kind of ties it immediately to one of his horns. Thank you. All right, well, I'll bring around a drink so you guys think about what you might want to eat, and I'll be back. All right. He kind of starts heading off towards the bar.
I'm just gonna lean into Muffalo and be like, "Hey, buddy, don't waddle too much in that chair. I don't think it's got much more tonight." Okay. And he'll probably be like, "Okay."
And you do notice that as a few other patrons start walking in, they get startled at the sight of Muffalo, but then kind of comment on how cute it looks with the little shawl, and then just kind of assume he's more docile for some reason with clothing. It was like, for some reason, it just made it less scary.
Now it's cute, not scary.
Wait till we get into our bar fight. It's gonna get real crazy.
I don't know why, but I keep picturing little lady shawl status over this little owlbear.
Probably.
So had everyone else come in and sat down, and has Kieran come in too, or is she still not there?
Kieran probably would be coming in probably towards the tail end of that conversation as the shawl gets tied on to Muffalo and Dax kind of makes his exit towards the bar.
Is there only the one way into the tavern / inn?
Do you want to look around to see if there's another entry point?
Well, because I'm presuming if she went in the entrance that the party went into, that it's just facing the bar. She wants to go in the door that's the inside, if there is one. but there's no layout, so I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's like you go in and then there's like a reception and then there's like a door for the bar.
You're pretty much just walking immediately into the tavern, and then there's stairs that seem to lead up to another level, but you just see the stairs that wind up to that second level. So if you're coming in from off of the street, unless you go into like an alleyway, like Cephas might have noticed that there was a door that Dax had come out of when he was moving some of the kegs in the alleyway. So there is a back door to this place, but from what you can tell, there's only one main entrance in the front, and it just leads straight into the tavern.
So she'll come in with a bunch of folded up clothes and whatnot, and she'll go up to the party. And she's like, I thought there was an inn. This looks like it's just a bar.
I'm sure they got rooms around here. We haven't inquired about it yet, but I'm sure they've got rooms here.
We were told that there was lodging here as well, so it's somewhere, I'm sure.
Can we see the staircase?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to point to the staircase and look at Kieran and say, maybe the rooms are upstairs there, Kieran, because there is kind of a staircase, but we actually haven't been given our rooms yet, as far as I know. Maybe ask Dax if you want.
Oh, he takes care of both the tavern and the inn? Oh, okay.
I think he takes care of everything.
It's his establishment. I imagine he runs both.
And then she looks at Sybil. I got you some stuff. I think we can work with it. I don't know, but we should get some rooms and see if we can do something about that.
That's fast.
Well, I know the girl who runs the little market stall where the thrift clothes are. She's real nice.
So you want to do that now? Not after we eat?
Why would you get dressed after you eat?
Guess I kind of walked into this one. All right. You really wasn't expecting Kieran to act that fast. So I'll wander over to
no, when she's on a mission, she's like,
Yep.
It's like Kieran doesn't fuck around when it comes to fashion.
Do something be like when you tell your kids, "Oh yeah, I'll totally play dress up for you," and then they forget.
Oh, I know. So, dress up is one of Kieran's favorite things. So I guess do you point out the tiefling?
I'm more walk over there with Kieran, I guess, in tow.
Okay, you see that Dax is pouring. He's over at a keg and he's kind of pouring some ales into some mugs, and the mugs are they're all different as well. They all have like different like carved designs on them, sort of like if you ever been to like one of those cafes where they have all the different kinds of coffee mugs instead of like the same standard mug. It feels kind of homey. It's sort of like that, but like a lot of wooden or tin or metal, copper, different kinds of cups and mugs. So nothing looks exactly the same. He almost doesn't have two things alike in this place. And he's kind of filling those mugs up on a tray.
Like when you're done, can we at least get one room to start so I can change my friend into something that's a little bit more appropriate for dining?
And he kind of like glances over his shoulder. Oh, another new person. Hi, I'm Dex. Oh, yeah, totally. You guys need lodging?
Yeah. We're going to be here a while.
Excellent. So for out-of-towners, I usually charge about 5 silver a night, but they're comfortable rooms.
Is it like 1 per, 2 per, like, how's the layout?
Oh, I'd say you could fit about 2 or 3 per room, depending on how snuggly you want to get. There's 2 beds, but
We'll need 2 rooms then.
Okay. How many people you guys have total? I've got one room that's got like a double wide bed. Maybe give one of you guys that one if you don't mind sleeping in the same.
Well, I'm sure the owlbear will sleep with his friend.
I would prefer it sleep on the floor, not one of the beds. I do need, I think,
Let's
patrons.
explain that to that.
All right. Well, I'll give you one of the rooms with the 2 kind of twins and one with a double and a twin. That will be our larger room. But I'll give you that for the same price. 5 silver a night per person.
Person or per room?
Well, and he kind of looks you guys per person.
Well, I mean, we're gonna be here a while. You think you can maybe cut us a deal?
I mean, we are kind of risking our necks to go out and deal with some of the stuff around here.
Roll persuasion.
Which one of us?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Who? One of you make a decision. The other and can roll at advantage since you're helping him out.
I have a +6.
Yeah, you can do it.
Are you proficient as well?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna roll again because it was kind of jank. That's a much better roll. That's 22.
He kind of scratches and goes, all right, per room, but the room with the owlbear.
You can understand if you want a security deposit on that one.
Yeah, I think for that one, that's going to be an extra 2 silver. So 7 silver for that one per night to deal with feathers and animal dander. And not on the bed.
Still defend him.
That's, well, I mean, we'll tell Fudge, but, I don't know what arrangements he has with Buffalo. It's not my owlbear.
So 5 for one room, 7 for the owlbear room.
I'll drop 12 silver down.
And you guys say you're doing some work, so if you guys accomplish some things and I get good word from Trinity, we'll negotiate the prices. But for now, we're going to start that off. Sound good?
That seems fair.
Did we meet Trinity? Yeah, that's the mayor. Okay. And then, she's just gonna, like, when you give the 12 silver, she's just going to, grab the keys. I'm presuming he puts the keys out.
Yeah, he does.
All right. So which one is the big room?
The key there that has like the brassier coloring, that one.
All right, so she's going to lock arms with Sybil and start making her way towards the stairwell, and then throw the big room key over at Fudge, and then go, that room's for you and Maflo.
And someone else.
And
But if Will messes anything up, you owe this guy 2 more silver.
Sounds good.
And then she goes, we're going to change. Give us a few. Well, maybe a little bit more than a few. And she just starts dragging her up towards the room.
And
So
Dax
has the please help me face on and she can struggle away.
Dax also mentions, hey, if you need accessories, let me know. I've got some stuff in the store behind the bar. Take a look.
Oh, I have some stuff. And she like, Kieran has like a lot of her shit packed.
All right. And he just kind of spins around on his heel and starts bringing the ales over to your table. Kind of sets him down. And he has like a bowl of water that he sets in front of Muffalo. Awkwardly, like this is all very weird for him, but he's he's trying. But you also notice that people are talking a lot about Muffalo in the surroundings, and some of them are like whispering, and you see a few people kind of go out and then come back in with another person in tow to and point out the owlbear. And so yeah, it's kind of, the tavern is slowly starting to get a little bit busier, almost like word of mouth is spreading about some interesting folk that have arrived in town.
Could I do a check of some kind, probably, I guess, perception, to eavesdrop on some of these whispered conversations, see if any of these people might recognize Fudge and Muffalo from, his works?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that sounds like perception to me. So go ahead and roll that.
That is going to be a dirty 20.
Very nice roll. So you gather that you don't seem to hear anything about that would trigger as recognition. Maybe these people just aren't very well read. You're not sure. But no one seems to be talking about them in terms of like being an author. But there is a lot of talk around the owlbear in general, and a lot of commentary on how the owlbear would look in a little hat to match the shawl, or if they think that they can pet the owlbear, or what they think it might eat, or how an owlbear is made. Do you think an owl and a bear got together? Or they've never seen an owlbear. They're not natural in this land, so a few of them overheard you describe him as an owlbear, and now they're just confused and trying to figure out how it happens, because they know normal bears. They know normal owls. This is the first they've ever seen of this type of creature. So some very strange arguments have started in that kind of vein of logic, and others just seem to be kind of chatting about their day. That's just what is in your kind of immediate vicinity that you can hear reasonably. Yep. Even though you rolled high, you can only hear reasonably so far.
Yep. Okay, well, I'll just kind of probably occasionally chuckle to myself at the people guessing how an owlbear is made. But otherwise, just kind of keep an ear out in case anyone does recognize.
Yeah. So far, no recognition.
Have we got like our drinks and stuff? Like,
yeah.
You just brought that out, right?
Yep. Dax is currently kind of passing those things out to you guys. All right, this one's the first one. It's free. However, new buddy over here, Seth. Sorry, how did you want me to say your name?
Seth is fine.
Seth, right. You owe me a fashion tip.
Suppose I do.
Lay it on me. And he whips out this little like notepad.
Well, perhaps not a tip per se, but a new fashion information. There's a new dye that has just been developed in my hometown using the wood from the local trees and an insect that burrows through that wood, of a mite type of insect. The insects are gathered along with the wood that they have eaten. They are drowned and then dried and ground up into a powder. It creates a very vibrant red. You mix that powder with some water, submerge your cloth, and the cloth takes the color. And she'll take off her scarf type thing that she wears at this point and kind of lay it out flat on the table. And she'll draw her finger across it, and as she does, a trail of color forms and kind of overtakes the scarf, and is this very deep but vibrant crimson color, like very high pigment red, using prestidigitation to color the surface of an object. This is the color that is produced. I believe it will be in high demand in the coming years.
I'd say. How did you just do that? Show the color. I mean,
It is a simple magical trick. It is not permanent.
Ninja of the Blue, welcome. Thank you. Welcome, Raiders. You see that Dax seems very excited. His eyes just light up and he's just looking at the color. He's like, that is such a beautiful, vibrant. So smushing bugs and grounding, and he just like takes notes and he's like, I wonder if I were to mix. We have these really interesting, like, sort of blue beetles with sort of this little bit of iridescence. I wonder if I were to take their wings and powder it up and do something. He kind of mumbles to himself as you've given him some ideas. I will. Oh man, do you happen to have any of that dye on you?
I do not, unfortunately, but I do have some contacts back home that perhaps I could reach out to. Acquire some.
Oh, okay. Right. If you guys end up being here for a while, I definitely want to take you up on reaching out to your contacts, because if I have the money, I might have to save up a bit. But I imagine importing something from Al Shirai would take a bit of coin.
A bit of coin, yes.
All right.
But now is the time to do it before it becomes common public knowledge and demand raises.
He kind of puffs up a little bit, like he feels like he's got some privileged information now. Like, that is definitely worth the round of ales. Thank you.
You are most welcome.
What do they call it? Do they have a name for this dye yet?
I have not heard the proper name for it yet. It was simply in development when I was last home.
All right, I'll nickname it Red Might Dye for now. He kind of takes note. And he just gets very excited, sparkles in his eyes practically. And then he kind of like is taking notes, kind of forgets himself, and then realizes that he should probably get you guys something to eat or see if you need anything else or check in with his other patrons. So he kind of looks up, looks around. You hungry?
Yeah. Been a long day.
Yes.
All right. What do you want?
Well, 2 pounds of raw meat for Muffalo, obviously. And
That's a lot.
well, he's a big boy.
All right. So instead of the goat, since you're asking for a bit more meat than I was anticipating,
Gotcha.
how would you feel about some rabbit for him? I could bring out a couple of cooked
you got
conies.
you got some rabbits? Oh, that's perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just easier to catch those. The goats we have to actually raise and rear, and so I usually like to save those.
Yeah, no worries.
All
No
right.
worries.
So bring out a couple rabbits for him. Cooked or?
No, just, make sure that, I mean, they can even be, actually, for everyone here at the table, just, maybe just prep them and, maybe Muffalo can, like, yeah, it's fine. Just bring them out. However you want to bring them out. I'll take them.
How about I cut them in small enough pieces where you could just kind of go.
Oh, he'll do that regardless if you bring it out whole or not.
Okay, that's all right. We'll work something out. We'll figure
It'll be
something
quick.
out. Not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what about the rest of you? I've gotten the order for the Muffalo.
I mean, I'll if you got rabbit, that sounds great. I would take some rabbit, like stew or.
Yep. We
Something
actually
like that,
do
yeah.
have rabbit stew, coney stew. Bring some of
Sounds
that
good.
out.
Yeah.
I would like some of the goat, please.
Okay. And it's sort of like a braised goat. I do this sort of cranberry caramelized sauce over the top. Usually comes with potatoes. Sound good?
Sounds delicious.
Excellent. So the goat meal is about it's gonna be about 2 silver for the goat. It's a bit fancier of a meal.
Worth it, I am sure.
The rabbit stew is a bit more simple. That one's just 6 copper.
Cool. You got it.
But it's good. I used some pretty good spices. There's some carrots mixed in there. It definitely hits the spot.
No worries.
Anyone else want anything?
That lovely spicy smell, is that from your rabbit stew?
A mix of things. It's a bit of the braised meat as well. I like to use a lot of spices in my trade. It goes along with my passion for dyes. I also like a bit of a passion for various spices. Hard to get a hold of these days, but I have a small herb garden, so I make a grind much of my own. But yeah, the stew is predominantly what you're smelling right now.
Be good. Do you have some kind of bread or something you serve with that?
Definitely, yeah. We've got some
Oh,
bread.
that'd be great for me. I'd be more than happy with that.
All right, that's just 6 copper for the rabbit stew and some bread.
Kieran and Sybil back downstairs yet? Or are we still up in the room?
That's up to you. Let's transition over to you guys up in the room. On that note, so the two of you head upstairs, and the rooms are very not surprising to what you would anticipate seeing after seeing the tavern the way it is. Again, it's just a bunch of various things. There's different blankets of various make, and most of them are like knitted blankets of different designs and colors, quilts, and nothing again matches it themselves. The dressers don't match the bed frames of the beds. Everything's very like whatever he purchased, he put in here. It's a very eclectic, but you see it's a simple room, but he's there's a few little like things here and there. Although it's more sparse, there's not like as many like tchotchkes and stuff because things can get stolen. It's mostly just the core furniture and then some like bedding. And on the desk, there's a very small, almost like an end table, but you could sort of use it as a desk. It just, there's no chair. But he has like a little ink well there and a few pieces of paper next to it to be utilized. Other than that, it's fairly sparse. What would you guys like to do in the room? And those are you took the one with the 2 twins, I think.
Yeah. Kieran is just going to start, just laying stuff out on the bed. And then she's just going to, put, Sybil's arms to the side and, just give her the once around. And then she just starts, piecing together this outfit that she has in her head. And she's gonna put the shirt on, and then, and she's like, so it's just armor, right? Like, there's no fleshy stuff underneath.
Depends on where you're looking. There's some flesh, there's some not flesh. Yeah, you saw my entire arm come off. That doesn't happen with flesh.
Yeah, I mean,
Usually.
I guess we'll work.
I guess we can take the fleshy arm off, but getting it back on's a little tricky.
Oh, we don't want to do that. That's, the fleshy parts aren't supposed to do that. I know that for sure.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even realize. I didn't hear our little ping noises, but Renvi, welcome, Raiders. Amy, Ikari, welcome. So sorry for being such a rude host. I just didn't. My Twitch like chat is like way off to this side of the screen, and I didn't hear the little sound, so my apologies. But welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, continue talking. Sorry, guys.
So she's gonna put the blouse on her. And then she's gonna put the blouse on her, and then she's gonna try and fluff it up. And she's like, I mean, whoever made the not fleshy parts, was it a guy? Because I mean, they could have did better. Seriously.
I think it was designed for function, not form.
Sweetheart, it's like, design and form go hand in hand. I mean, just because, we get dirty every once in a while fighting stuff doesn't mean we can't look at doing it.
My choice was this or death, so I'm not really gonna complain if my arm looks a little funky.
I mean, I guess, I mean, maybe we can find someone to, like, touch you up a little bit and, ding some better shape into you or something. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, rather not.
We'll put a pin in it. And then she ties up, and she, does the flu thing, and she puts the skirt on and the belt. And she, sits you down on the bed, and then she basically, she makes like these, I mean, pretty much like, like toe sleeves for, your shins. Basically she's trying to hide as much of the metal as she can, just to, like, bring out some more femininity in you. And she's just like, well, I mean, we can't, take it off. The best we can do is, like, hide it.
Why does it need to be hidden? It's actually a good conversation starter. Great for gathering information.
I mean,
That, and I'm pretty sure if my blade extends in this blouse, it's going to rip the blouse.
well, it comes out your arm, not your back.
Yeah, but it's going to slice the sleeves on this thing. It's also a
Oh,
little
no.
hard to move in this skirt.
It's
How do you
short
fight
sleeve.
in this thing? Oh,
It's
I
like-
your long sleeve.
No, she purposely picked out summery stuff. She's trying to make you frilly as possible.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, it's just a skirt. It's not pants. And then she knows, like, if it's that uncomfortable, she'll flip the band in half and pull it up just a little bit to give, like, so it's more, so she hikes it up to, like, more of, like, like a more mini skirt type deal.
Above the knee.
Yeah. And then she goes, I wish we had some nice leggings for you. This is the best I can do. Ugh. And then she goes and she's like, like, can we do something with your hair? Maybe, like, frizz it up, do something. It just kind of lays there.
Half my head's metal, so it doesn't really have anywhere else to go.
I mean, again, just because part of you is metal doesn't necessarily mean you can't look good while you're metal. I mean, there's
Thought my
still
hair did look good.
It looks okay. I mean, again, whoever put you together was not thinking, more than keeping you alive.
Well, I'll make sure to give my daughter some pointers when we get back.
Yes, we should do that. Wait, I thought you said gnomes put you together. You don't look like a gnome.
No. I was put together in Vink. Primarily gnomes, but they do have other races that study there.
Oh. Okay, well, that's good to know. And then she's just gonna, like, tease your hair, and she's just gonna do, like, because I just envision you have, like, like, it's not a shaved half of your head, it's just, like, metallic, but it's kind of like shaved. So she's just gonna do, like, some clunky braids on the not metal half, and and just bring them down to kind of, like, accentuate more the fleshy part of your head and not the metal part. And then come down into, like, cornrows into a single braid, and then just drop it over your shoulder.
She pretty much lets Kieran. She knew she walked into this, so she's letting Kieran do what she wants for tonight.
She's like, that's the best I can do with what is in this town. When we get to, like, a real town, like, we need to just do something with all of this. I don't know. Maybe that Dax guy has something, actually. I don't know. And then, while she's talking, she's, strips, and what she does. So Kieran still has her Al Shirai outfit stuff with her. So she's going to put on, the leggings and, like, the little dangles and whatnot from that. And then she's going to put her skirt on, and she's gonna again hike it up a little bit so it's above the knee, so you can actually see the leggings parts. And then she's gonna wear the sash around the middle part, and then she's gonna wear like the silk blousey top, but she's gonna wear the jacket on top of it. And then she's gonna just roll the jacket open because she doesn't have anything that even resembles an iron to pleat this thing.
Okay.
And then she's gonna just do her hair in basically just a loose ponytail and just drop it to one side. And then she's just gonna like just she's gonna do like just a fast makeup job, just some gloss, some rouge, and she'll actually she'll do the same thing for Sybil. What she'd probably just do like just a little bit of blush and just just some lipstick, just because she probably doesn't have any color palettes that's going to make any sense with the rest of her armor / body.
Does have the streaks of metal that go up along her cheekbones, so you gotta blush the metal.
Yeah, she's like, we're gonna have to do a lot of work. We'll figure it out. And they're done, and she's gonna pack up her stuff. She'll leave her shield and her pack in the room. But I mean, she'll go down with her mace, because her shield is just a shield, and she will take her Bible with her, because just how she is. Plus, it's pretty, so she can just pull it off.
Sybil leaves nothing in the room, so she brings the whole shield and everything comes with her.
Okay.
And at least put it to the side when we're downstairs. And then she'll lock the room. Like, the door does lock, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta check that after you lock to make sure it actually clicked.
Yeah, she's like, make sure it locks.
It's not one of those rooms that has a lock but doesn't actually lock.
Yeah, no, it actually locks.
Yeah, and then they'll come downstairs, and as they're like walking towards the table, she does the whole like Dada stuff, on Sybil.
Sybil every few moments is tugging at the bottom of the skirt or the shirt somewhere at that real uncomfortable. I don't like these. What's happening? Which I'm sure Kieran is completely oblivious to, knowing Kieran, but
she's just like, so what do you think?
Fudge does like a. Okay, I don't know anything about fashion. I'm sorry.
I mean, you live in the woods, so I mean, I guess.
I mean,
it looks like she dressed up her robot doll.
It's like you gave the blonde a literal Barbie doll.
I mean, fair. Fair. You did.
And then and she'll turn to Crystal. What do you think, Crystal? Looks better, right? I mean, at least for
Well, it's kind of a very different look for Sybil. I don't know. Sybil, do you like it? I mean, a person gotta feel comfortable in their well, this is not going to sound good. A person should feel comfortable in their own skin, but no offense.
I don't feel most of my skin. Just not quite what I was expecting.
Well, it certainly does make a statement. I'll give you that, Kieran.
I mean, there's not a whole lot I can do with secondhand clothes.
Maybe we see if we can exchange it for something more like sash, like.
Yeah, and then when you say that, she'll twist a little bit and jangles on her sash, on her skirt. She's like, I really wish you were with us when we were in El Shaddai. I could have done so much stuff for you there. They have the most amazing stuff in their market.
Sure they do. I'll think about it. After that, you went through the effort. I can wear it.
Dax visibly winces when he sees you. And he just kind of waves his hand like...
So when they come down together, Crystal will sort of stand up. And she hasn't been served. She's going to stand up and take her drink and just kind of move over and turn to Seth and say, do you mind if I sit here? Is that okay?
That's perfectly all right.
So I'll sit there so that, oh dear.
Kieran or Sybil.
Yeah, so that Kieran and Sybil can sit together, whatever Kieran wants to do with it.
I'll let Kieran slide in first. I'll sit on the outside. Or sit next.
Okay, the food is brought out, at least for the individuals that have ordered so far. And it's hot, it smells good, and of spices, it seems to be cooked pretty well. Nothing's like burnt or overcooked. Looks pretty appetizing.
I get one of those. That goat meal looks real well. Can I get one of those, please?
Yeah, coming up. 2 silver. That all right with you?
Mm-hmm.
All
right. Can I get some of the stew? That looks really good.
Yep, I'm on it. And he goes to fetch those items as he drops off a few other meals, mostly stews, off to some of the other tables. There's a few more like soldier types that have ordered some of the goat, so he drops those off to them. They're like uniformed. And most of like the more local villager types seem to be ordering this stew. There's a few tables with just some bread and cheese. There's, conversation, a lot of attention on your table. There is probably an uncomfortable amount of attention as people whisper about who you are and what you're doing here and what's up with the owl bear. What's an owl bear? And more conversations about owls and bears and making owl bears. Just, it's a cycle. More speculations and arguments ensue. But also some other conversations. Depends on what you guys want to try to hone in on and whatnot. But there's a fair mix of a variety of people at this point in time now that the sun has gone down. It's more of like a core dinner time for the town. So, and the word of mouth has spread about newcomers, so it seems like it's a bit busier than usual. Although you wouldn't know what the usual is, but you can tell people seem to be dragging others into the tavern.
Are people milling about? Like, is everybody sort of seated at tables, or are people walking around and chatting to other people? Is there a chance to move around and be part of the crowd, or are people pretty much confined to their tables?
At this point, there's for sure a chance to mill about there because people are really interested in you. So a lot of them are trying to and I'm not going to block this behind a perception check because it's easy. You look up and you notice this kind of activity, but people will go to tables that are closest to you guys and talk to their buddies at those tables to try to figure out what those closest tables have figured out about you guess, or just to get a little closer look at you guys. So there's people kind of milling about, moving and kind of gossiping with each other. But a lot of times people will make their way close to you guys, but not yet brave enough to fully approach your table, but they'll get a few tables away and kind of talk to the people there. So yeah, for sure, if you wanted to, you could start walking around and milling about, but there's a lot of attention on you guys, so blending in would be difficult, but because you're new and shiny. So
okay, so Crystal's going to finish up her meal, and she's going to take her drink, and she's going to say to the group, Y'all just excuse me for a minute. I think I'm just going to make the acquaintance of that group of soldiers over there. Just have a bit of a chat with them, maybe see if I can break the ice a bit. So I'm going to head to what looks like, if there is one, a group of military type people.
Sure. This is actually
as opposed to just the farmers.
Yeah.
Or,
this is actually just a pair of uniform. They're the only ones in uniform in the tavern at this time. Seems to be a female and a male human, or vaguely human descent, and they're having a conversation. They kind of watch you as you approach.
Okay, so I'll walk up to them and I will say, howdy. Let me introduce myself. I couldn't help but notice we's a bit of a topic of conversation amongst you folks. We're here for some adventuring, and I'm Chris. Who might you folks be?
Oh, and the gentleman speaks up first. I'm Vlatko, and this is Draha. And she kind of like just tips her head to you and has a swig of her drink. Nice to meet you, Crystal.
Oh, pleased to make your acquaintance too. So are you guys been here long?
Yeah, been stationed a long time.
Okay. Do you like? Is it a nice place to be? Much trouble here?
She asked a nice place. You make joke. You funny. Have a seat. Join.
Well, okay. I'll sit down, chat with you for a while. Well, I don't know. Like we were walking around town today, and there was a lovely little market that we saw. It looked kind of pretty, really. I know you folks have fallen on some hard times and all, but overall, it looks like it could be a real nice, kind of quiet place, not too much trouble. Is that right?
She make joke again. It's like quiet, please. Oh, wait, you're new. Are you serious?
So this is Crystal's going to kind of set down her drink and put her hands under her chin and say, "Well, I don't know. You folks just kind of tell me what's like here. Tell me why I think what I said's so funny. 'Cause I don't kind of see what the problem is." I'll just sit and see what I can find out.
Yeah, give me either a performance or persuasion check, just because the general vibe I'm getting out of you is you're trying to kind of be personable, maybe borderline flirt, just kind of trying to show interest and encourage them to open up a little bit is what I'm gathering, right?
Precisely. I mean, it's what she does, right?
Exactly. So I think either
okay.
performance or persuasion, just so I could see how much you might be influencing them right in this moment.
Persuasion. Oh, you wouldn't accept perception?
No.
Oh, gone. Okay. How about deception? Would you accept deception?
I think for the particular ask that I'm asking, I'm oh dear, I just messed something up with my notes here. There we go. I'm mainly just asking you to establish how comfortable you're making them feel. So I think again a persuasion or performance would lend itself to that.
It's the same modifier for both of them. So
got it.
Oh, not so good. 6.
Okay. So that doesn't mean you're not going to get anything. It just sets a baseline for me in terms of if they would be more willing to give someone of your appearance or someone walking up to them. So it's not necessarily a straight up failure in this sense. I want you to be aware of that. But it was just kind of allowing me to get a gauge for if you've been extremely persuasive or if it might take a little bit more conversation for you to get them to open up. So it doesn't mean that that's not a possibility or that's the only role you can make in regards to this. If you say certain things that I feel warrant a new role, we'll definitely, do that going forward. So as of now, we'll see how that is. So they kind of, so what your question was, repeat your question again for me after we went through all of that. I just want to make sure I have the wording right in my head.
So basically what I'm trying to find out is, what is the town like? Is it a safe town? Are there problems in town? You know, sort of like, why do they think this? Why do they think what I've said is amusing? Obviously, they don't feel it's a nice, good place. So I want to know what the, but I don't know, the seedier side, the undertones. What are the problems there, and things that we might have to worry about as a party?
Yeah. So, Draha kind of says quietly, well, at least there's not bombs dropping right now. That's something. So I guess it seems quiet to you. You're very new, aren't you? When'd you guys get into town?
Just today. Well, I guess earlier today, really. It's been a long day though, but yeah, we heard there was, going to be had and adventures to be part of, and that you folks needed some help, and we thought we might be able to give you a hand. So, with what we got to offer, we just moseyed on into this town, and here we all are.
Where did you mosey from?
From out in the countryside. We're sort of adventuring types, so we've been here, there, everywhere a bit. We come and go with the wind, so to speak. You know how it is.
Roll a deception for me.
This is where I need the cleric over my shoulder giving me advantage. Right. Okay. So 15. 18.
Okay. They kind of nod. You must have been in a quiet part of the country then. Pretty far from the front lines?
Yeah. We don't like overt trouble, you might say.
Huh. Yeah, well. And Vlaco just kind of cuts in and goes, "Well, you ask about town. It's, quieter now, but there was... something's going on every day. There's the cart with the dead people and an occasional mine that explodes when you're searching or just farming. And then there's weird animals that attack. And there's... curses on the watches. I hate Night Watch. Night Watch so scary these days. It's just more and more. Like before, during war, there was, gods, and you'd have to worry about explosions and losing limbs, but you didn't have to worry about a creature waking up, and something chewing on your leg. Not a concern as much back in, normal wartime. Now, quiet time, more things come out. It's gross. Don't like it. So, not fun. Not so... It seemed quiet, but not safe. And only quiet sometimes. In certain parts, not so quiet. Lots of screaming.
Oh my. So what kind of strange animals be eating on people?
Don't know. Try to avoid. But I hear stories. Creepy stories. You want a story?
Oh, I'd love a story.
All right.
In fact, can I call one of my friends over? Because we all love stories.
Yes, more. Tell them bring drinks.
So I motion to the table in a sort of can somebody else come over so we don't miss anything kind of look to see if anybody catches that and they'll come over.
All right. Is anybody paying attention to what Crystal's been doing? Or what have you guys? Let's take a moment to see what have you guys been doing during this time. I know a lot of you have food that you've been eating. Maybe some light conversation at the table. Anything else specific that you guys have been doing while she's been engaging these two soldiers?
eating my stew with a passive perception of 14.
Okay. If Crystal's trying to get your attention, I imagine you might notice her. And what were the rest of you guys doing before we move on to that?
Probably just chit-chatting at the table. Just standard conversation. Nothing too in-depth. And keeping an eye on Buffalo. So, that's about it.
All right.
I'm probably just mildly engaged in the chit-chat, but also keeping an eye out for little robots running around, just in case.
Give me a perception check.
That one is not great. That's only going to be a 10.
Okay, thank you.
So when Sybil finishes her meal, she's going to down whatever ale she had with it, so that she can get up and go to the bar and get a refill.
All right.
And when she approaches Dax, she's going to do the long sigh, like the shit I have to put up with type of sigh.
And he kind of like looks at you and goes, you know, I liked you a lot without the getup, to be honest. You had a really cool, unique thing going.
Appreciate that. She thought it needed to be covered.
I mean, I like color, so you're a bit monochrome for me, but style you have. The shiny, the curves, show it off, girl.
Well, shit I have to do to get a job since the war ended.
Yeah, it has been a bit of a struggle, especially for those who've, you know, any kind of indicates have lost things to it. It's been rough for a lot of folk. But, you know, you all find your way.
Some days it just feels like, what was the point of the fight in the first place? We just gave in at the end.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. Definitely. I am looking forward to a little peace, personally, but who knows how long it will last, though. I mean, our track record ain't great.
That's true. Can you get refilling the ale and maybe, I mean, I promised her for the night I'd keep the outfit on, but maybe in the morning I can trade this for some sort of sash or shawl or something that'll make her happy, but...
You know what? I'm gonna give you, here, take this. And he gives you this little dart, and he points at a board behind him that's covered in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Throw it at that dartboard. Just close your eyes, throw it wherever. And roll me a D100.
All zeros, that's the 100, right?
You got 100? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish it was on something better than just a randomized drink table, but...
Sybil needs it right now. Kind of.
So he's like, I think you could use maybe a comfort drink. That's a good choice. Let me go ahead and bring something special out to you on the house because of the whole that. You're being a good friend. All right. I'm going to make you one of my Dax's tonics. And he pours into a mug. You see him grab some hot water and pour it into this like wooden mug. And he grabs some sort of, it's like a tea bag, but it smells of pretty heavily of mint. And then he grabs a bottle of what looks to be like a dark rum and pours it in there. And then he takes what looks to be some like cream and kind of like does this mixing to kind of froth it up and pours it over the top. And hands it over to you. It's warm, it's comforting, and it's got a kick.
Appreciate it. Do you usually this busy on a...
Nope.
No?
Thank you all for the business.
Least we can do, right?
I'm not the only one who finds new people interesting.
What's usually going on in the town around here?
I don't know, various comings and goings. We do get the odd we get a lot of refugees coming in. Some stay, some just pass through. So, they've got some interesting stories and whatnot. But, thank you for the sub, Phantom Time Lord. And I don't know what else is going on, but thank you so much. And, he's like, well, so we get some new people that come through from time to time, but you guys are quite the interesting group. And we did have some adventurers come through. Never mind.
No, we heard about them already. They didn't fare too well.
Yeah,
When did they leave?
Well, some left. Some have taken permanent residence in a local cemetery, but the ones that survived have since left.
How long ago?
I mean, they left on a contract, so they didn't just jet from, because they lost half their party. They hired a few extra individuals, and I think they went into the main city.
Ah. Okay, that does not sound... Didn't seem like it sounded like before, so...
Oh, a lot of rumors going around. Half the town believe that they left out of, freaking out over some of their companions being torn apart. And
it's getting worse on the battlefields. How do you think I ended up like this?
Fair. Others think that they are spies for Eastern Darvasta, and they're going to report in. There's other rumors that they've just taken up another contract, which is the one I believe. And others say that they also died mysteriously and are not even around anymore. Or that they left. Did I say some think that they left for being cowards or something? I don't. There's a lot of different various rumors going around. I personally think that they just took a contract to the city, because I heard that from one of the deputies. I think it was Thomas. Yeah, it was Thomas.
Good to know, because leaving out of fear concerned me a little. You wonder what we walked into.
Oh, you've walked into quite a bit of a mess, but you look capable, so...
Well, when I'm not layered in skirts, yes.
Yeah, the whole... That's not really a look for you, hun. It's just not.
Doesn't quite hang the right way.
Nah. I think at most maybe a vest. And he kind of shows you behind his counter. He's got this cloth vest that has more of a darker tie-dye design that goes from black and fades into a dyed red, and it goes from a darker red slowly to a bit of a lighter red towards the bottom. It's something like that, a vest, or I don't know, maybe it's a sash or a shawl or a cool belt, maybe a hat. But the whole get up, I mean, you don't need all that frill. You're not really translate as a frilly sister, if you know what I mean.
Good. I don't know what gave it away, the medal or the shield.
Or the attitude,
Nah.
You carry yourself like a soldier. It's hard to turn that off.
That it is. Not that it's been very long.
Yeah. Not to say that you can't, have multifaceted aspects of yourself. By all means, you feel frilly, go frilly. But it just, just doesn't quite scream you, But
maybe one day the frilly aspect will come back. The train wears off.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So, enjoy your drink.
Appreciate it. Any other useful information we have to help us navigate the town? You seem social.
I don't know. What do you want to know? What you looking for?
Just any hiccups we may run into, any faux pas we could accidentally stumble upon. hierarchy problems, things like that.
I mean, try to stay on Trinity's good side. She practically runs the whole town. Dax's sister can be... I mean, I am Dax. My sister.
Am I talking in third person?
Talking in third person. My sister can be a bit... Ooh, so be careful of her. She's a bit of a pistol.
What does she do around the town?
Oh, she's a nurse. Just don't get injured. You'll never see her. But, I mean, you might see her around town, but she's just... I don't know. She's been weird lately. Just not herself. And, so I try to avoid her. She's always on edge. The sheriff's... He's, you know... Take him with a grain of salt. He's fairly new to the position, but...
Doesn't seem to like dog jokes much.
Yeah, I mean... Would you, if you were...
I get mellow jokes a lot, so...
That's fair. I get devil jokes a lot. It comes with the territory. Or horny jokes, yeah. Bound.
I can see that one.
Like, get your goat. Like, oh, it just never ends. But yeah. Let's see. There's the orphanage. You can always swing by there and see, you know, if you want to make good in the town, helping them out with whatever they need helps. Melody is quiet but good people. People tend to steer clear of her for some reason, but I think she's pretty cool. She just gives off that, like, sort of a creepy vibe. But yeah, just kind of go around. We've got a blacksmith shop, Connor, Amber Maker. You can swing by there if you need anything shaped or made. There's the general goods store. Zofia runs that. She's another bit of an odd duck, but you'll see for yourself when you meet her, should you swing by there. There's always the church on the outskirts of town. Not the ruined one in the forest, but the main church of Velis. Preacher there is always willing to help folk or talk to folk, so you can always swing by there. But the best place in town is right here, if you ask me.
I mean, this is where all the action happens, right?
Yeah.
Appreciate the drinks and the information.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Happy to have you guys here. Just, you know, sorry about the crowd. It'll die down after you guys are here a couple of days, but you're gonna be shiny new toys for everyone for a little bit. That's all.
I mean, it's mostly the owlbear, let's be honest.
Oh, for sure. I thought that the shawl thing would help make it look less scary, but I think I didn't anticipate its cuteness factor.
Now they want a hat, apparently.
Oh, gosh. Someone's gonna ask me to knit that, I know it. It ain't happening. I draw the line at shawl for making clothing for animals. It's not my thing. But, I don't know, he does look kind of cute in it, but maybe a little beret. No, not doing it. I'm not doing it. Anyway, I've got to help some patrons over here, so if you'll excuse me.
If you put the symbol on the hat for your tavern and everything, it could be a good advertisement. A good one.
I don't have a symbol for my tavern, which I should have what should my symbol? Now he's like mumbling to himself.
Yeah, that's what she was hoping for.
Back over to Crystal.
Okay, so as Sybil leaves the bar, do I catch her attention? Not?
It depends. Are you gonna hone in on Crystal, or are you gonna hone in on Kieran, or do you want both of them to catch? Like, who do you want to kind of focus on to try to get their attention? Because both would notice you at this point.
Okay, probably actually.
We'll
the
take
better
a break
choice
here,
would be
too.
Sybil, I think.
Okay.
Would be where I would hone.
All right.
Try to catch her attention.
So you look over at Kieran, and then you see Sybil kind of turn around from the bar. She's kind of closer to you, so you kind of hone your attention there. Sybil, as you turn around, you make eye contact with Crystal and kind of like get the sense that you're being summoned by a friend. And we're gonna pause there. We'll take a quick break to refresh our drinks, use the restrooms, stretch, do what needs to be done. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes, folks, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining us for Chimera Collective, Darkness in Darvasta. Thank you. Hold while I do the thing. And we're back. Hello, everybody. There we go. All right. So back over to Crystal, who's having a conversation with two uniformed soldiers. And the female Draha kind of is listening to Vodko kind of carry on about various dangers and rumors and while you wait for your friend to come over. And then he kind of looks and sees Sybil, goes, "Oh, this your friend?"
Yeah. This here's one of my traveling companions and a fellow adventurer. You'll want to have a sit down with us for a minute?
Sure. They take in your outfit. It's very nice to meet you. I'm Vladko, this Draha. You are... Sybil. Oh, good name. Strong name. Well, let's pull up a chair, have seats, you bring drinks.
Oh, let me run back and grab a few more.
Awesome. I like your friend.
I'll run back to the bar and just grab ales for the table.
Okay. So ales for the table, since he's no longer giving out free drinks. It'll just be, like, for the basic house ale, it's gonna be, I believe I was, like, roll up my price list that I set up for myself. Yeah, 2, well, that's for a gallon, never mind, 4 copper. For just an ale. Mm-hmm.
So around, is that for, like...
Is
that per drink?
Per mug.
Right, so 16 copper in total.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to start buying stuff.
I know you guys aren't used to having to deal with money in Chimera Collective games, but I had to bring in the monetary system now. Because one of your incentives is money to blend in, right?
So she'll buy the round for the table and go back and sit down.
Okay. As the DM bleeds you dry. No.
Yeah, on purpose.
Just Kieran. She's the big spender here.
So he says, "All right, story time. What kind of story you want? You want happy story, cry story, scary story, romantic story? What kind of story you want?"
I mean, are there happy stories here?
I mean, there's, like the odd tale of scary situation, but not scary thing happened. That means it's happy. When bad situation and bad thing don't happen, happy.
When you don't step on the mine. Got it.
Happy! So.
Well, Crystal, what kind of story did you want?
I don't know. I was hoping for maybe I'd like to hear a scary story, I think.
All right, scary story it is. Okay, so.
How about you, Sybil? That'd be good for you.
Sure. It's been a long time since I've had a happy story around these, or a scary story around these parts. Well, beyond the usual.
Scary story it is. All right, me thinking. Yes, that's good story. All right, so there are different patrols that we are get assigned, right? The most worst patrol is the one that goes into the city, the ruined city of Hope. But we need to go in for various things, sometimes requested. So sometimes soldiers will go in as escort to go get a thing that is needed. Generally, patrol is just going around the outskirts and making sure that the creepy or bad things in the side don't come too close to town. and making sure that things aren't... There are some sensitive things. And Draha gives him, like, a pointed look. Right. Just certain things to check on. We're responsible for. So we check on. Anyway, not part of story. So, going into the ruined city patrol sucks. There is rubble could fall on you. There's creepy sounds everywhere. There's just generally bad vibe. But my friend, my buddy, Orlin is his name. Dwarf, stocky fellow. Fearless. Nothing freak him out. We always dare him to do crazy shit. He, crazy, volunteers all the time for the city patrol. Little extra pay. And he, like I said, the pair on this guy, huge. So he goes out. Somebody is on patrol. And one day, they're out near some... used to be... What was it? It was like the warehouse district, right? Now crumbled. So they're out around the outskirts of this warehouse district doing patrol, and they hear this sound like a child crying. So you think, oh no, refugees. They got in, they got trapped. Is bad. Go look. So they go inside and they see a spot in this like warehouse where is open. There's some evidence that people maybe have, sheltered here a while, but no people. So he goes deeper, hearing the crying sound. Follows the tunnels, there's like flickering lights, there's water dripping. Each footstep is just echoing through this like hallway that's created by kind of the crumbling areas. Every time he gets a little closer and he thinks, I'm just going to turn this corner and there's going to be little girl crying and I will find her and save her and be hero. Get extra pay. Medal. He turned a corner. No little girl. No crying. The sound a little bit farther away. But he hears no footsteps. He hears no sounds. Just the crying. So he continues on farther. And his buddies, like, there's two of them, they're like, we don't think this is, real. I don't hear crying. And he keeps saying, I hear crying. So he decides to go on ahead. The other guys are like, we're getting back to patrol. You crazy. There's no crying. So he goes and keeps following the crying sound. And eventually he gets to this room. It's very wet. Puddles everywhere, reflections everywhere. There's a little bit of light coming through. It's from the afternoon outside. Some cracks in the walls. It's a little stream of light shining on the water. And he sees nothing, but he hears crying in there. He looks down and he sees in the reflection of the water the most terrifying face ever described to me. Something half melted, half human, with long big claws, drooping features like flesh just coming off but yet still stuck to body, almost like old lady but burned by acid. Yellow, sickly eyes, sharp teeth, and more arms than should be needed. But still no sounds. Just this weird crying. And he sees in the reflection the creature. But when he looks up away from reflection, nothing. Well, my friend Orlin with the big cojones, they wouldn't know Spanish. Big, you know what? he turned around and screamed like a little girl himself and ran out, just full speed, screaming top of his lungs, swinging his axe back and forth in case anything is in front of him, spiraling around like he's some sort of dancer doing crazy whirligig. And he says that he connects with something as he's doing this wild spinning. Comes back with this weird black blood caked all over his axe and this story. Scary, huh?
Very scary. It's terrifying. I really hope not expect to see something like that.
It's weird,
my
weird
goodness.
shit out there in the city, I'm telling you. After that, he never volunteered. Go back to the city. He pays us to take the shift.
Hey, good coin for you.
I just don't
Sounds
go
like-
inside any buildings if I don't have to.
Fair.
And Draha looks super bored this whole time. She's got like a hand on it, and she's clearly heard this story like several times, and she's just kind of sipping at her drink, looking really bored.
Kind of odd that all these strange things started popping up after the war ended.
She kind of nods. Yeah, well, they did some weird stuff in the labs and stuff, you know? Wouldn't be surprised if there were some weird experiments running around. And
So all
Sorry
the-
about that.
all this kind of weird stuff and scary stuff, like, was that during the war too, or did all this kind of happen after?
some of it, there was some reports here and there of some weird things happening, creatures. Sometimes people would just get messed up from the poisons and things like that, go mad, or, you know, get scarred or disfigured in a way that people would get freaked out by them. But most of the time it was just the fighting. It wasn't until after the war ended that some of the extra weird stuff started coming up, you know? Like the dead rising, like that. I mean, we had some pockets of that kind of stuff happening, as is natural, and, you know, with all the wild magic being thrown around, sometimes shit happens. But not to this degree. And I know that, I mean, I've heard whispers. The higher ups have been looking into it. Lots of rumors, but no one knows anything concrete, you know?
You ever like my friend Sybil here, like, she's sort of a part metal, and I was just wondering, you ever seen any other little creatures like her? Well, not little, she's not little, but you ever seen any creatures like her, but like smaller? Like, is that a thing around here that you see?
I mean, I've seen some people similar to her with a lot of prosthetics where almost their complete bodies have been replaced, but I mean, you look quite sophisticated. Like, you have a lot of money in you. Looks like they took some special attention. But I mean, you know, like halflings that lose limbs and stuff like that. Sure. There's some automatons that were used in the war from time to time that we'll see, mostly outside the major cities, but or, you know, officers, assistants, stuff like that. You know, normal stuff. Some soldier automatons. Usually they were used for just, you know, manual labor stuff, pulling the dead off of the battlefields during active engagements. But they're real simple. And
Are they like littler, smaller?
no, these were pretty big ones,
Okay.
kind of dog shaped. But
Okay.
the little ones, like the officers had some of those, like as assistants from time to time. But I've heard people talk about seeing a few around town, but I haven't seen them myself.
Ever
Okay.
mention where they noticed them?
I didn't
Curious
really
to see who.
pay attention.
Mhm.
So people don't get alarmed about that kind of thing then?
mean, it's weird. That's why I've heard rumors about it, because people are talking about seeing them, because it's odd, especially because there's no like high-ranking officers that would have brought those kinds of things with them in town right now. So I mean, it's weird. I don't know if I believe it or not, because I haven't personally seen them, but a few folk have talked about it.
Could always be someone just seeking attention.
Exactly. Yeah.
Buy things like that then? Like, I mean, there seems to be a market for just about anything here. Like, I noticed, like, people are very entrepreneurial. Like, obviously they're selling stuff like belongings and clothes and things. Like, might they be selling things like that, do you think?
Maybe. I mean, I haven't seen anything in the market, but of that quality. We get a lot of odds and ends, refugees selling things for money, for food, basic needs, stuff like that. So, I mean, look around this place. Dax has got this place stocked for that stuff.
Yeah, well, there might be a few things we're needing. So I'm just kind of asking, like, where would a person kind of maybe find, like, supplies and things? Is there a best place you folks like?
I mean,
suggest?
You can try the market or the general store. Depends on what you're looking for.
Okay, so it's all above board then.
Yeah, if you're into, drugs and stuff, we try to. I mean, there's a few places you can find. There's always someone selling something, but I didn't hear about anything, and I can't help you. But I mean, you might want to talk to that guy. And she indicates this kind of clearly. He's a guy who's kind of like just staring at a corner in the wall and then staring at Muffalo. And then he turns and kind of has a conversation to nothing next to him in the corner in the wall and then stares back at Muffalo. That guy probably has something on him. But that's not my job.
Okay, well, I really enjoyed your story. It was very entertaining. Thank you so much.
There you go,
It's
Vlaco.
nice to meet you both.
And Vlaco goes, yes, thank you. It's good to tell new people my stories. If you need another story, just come see me. I'm here almost every night I'm not on duty. I like the ale. And the view. And he points kind of at Dax's bottom. And gives like a wink. So,
Fair view.
Thanks for the drinks. You asked for a story, but so you say you're from the countryside, you're adventurers in town, like, why you need money? What you guys doing?
I just need something to do after the war.
All right. What you have goal, ambition? He turns to Crystal. What you want?
Oh, I really just like seeing new places. So that's kind of what draws me. I kind of go here and there, always looking for something new and different.
Well, you're from countryside, and yeah, you would probably want to see new, different things. You travel anywhere before, or is this first stop on a big adventure?
Been around a bit, here, there.
What does answer? He looks at Jaha. What does answer here, there? You don't remember? You have memory loss? You get hit on head?
No, I've been to, a few countries. Like, actually, I'm kind of a bit of a hired gun when need to rise. So, I go where there's money.
This girl. So first you from country, now you from all over. What?
Well, I'm sort of, from a lot of country, I guess, really.
Where did you go recently? What? You left Darvasta? That's rare around these parts, right? Right, Draha?
I'm here now. I've been here for a while.
Oh, yeah, okay. Where you from? Where you go before?
Well, originally I'm from a place called
Corventus?
thank you.
City?
I'm originally from Corventus,
Corventus.
and it's kind of a city. It's somewhere else, and I worked for somebody, and they'd say, well, we got some work for you there. So I go there, and then I do that. If it works out, they're happy with what I do, then they'll point me in another direction, and they pay me well enough. I don't really say too much about where I've been and where I'm going. It's
Draha kind of leans in a little bit. Who do you work for?
I work. There's a gnome feller back in Corventus that I work for. Ultimately, he's gone. He got he kind of got me going, and then I just go from one job to the next job, and things are a little quiet right now. So this sounded like it would be kind of an interesting thing to do, and I'm pretty handy with my guns, and these folks can use somebody who can do a little adventuring with. So I'm just here.
Roll me another deception check for some of that, please, as you're kind of being read by this person.
That would be that would be a 30-20.
Wow. Okay. You see her kind of eyeing you like she's like originally when you said you're from the country, they're like, oh, okay, that's maybe she's just not used to this being this close to the front lines. And then your story started falling apart a little bit there, and you could see like her kind of just taking more of a pointed interest in you. But as you're talking and saying, that you're a hired gun and stuff, she seems to kind of be nodding along, and seems to be like seems to be listening to you, kind of taking in what you're saying, but we'll see how that goes. Doesn't the openly like suspicious look seems to fade back a little bit?
These folks hired me on when they came to Darvasta, so they wanted some insider knowledge about the front lines, so no better than grab someone who fought.
Vlatko says, yes, lots of work. We don't want to, we weren't trained to deal with undead and stuff like I could shoot at an Eastern Darvastan, sure, I shoot. But I don't know how to kill big undead thing that's eating the corpse of my friends. Very disturbing.
Usually best just to get out of there.
I know, right? Best to run away, throw fire at it, and hope it goes away. They don't go away. They come back.
Fire doesn't work. You find something that can hit from range, at least. I hope it steps on one of those mines.
You'd think that would work, but more still coming. I don't understand. We didn't used to have this problem. I feel like every day that goes by, more and more and more. It's like something's drawing them here, right, Raha? And she kind of nods, like, it is weird. Yeah. Well, we probably kept you from your friends pretty long time, and honestly, I don't really like a lot of the attention from the rest of the town. Sorry, you guys are kind of attention magnets. So, if you don't mind, I'd like to, relax a bit before my shift starts.
Best of luck on your shift.
Thanks.
Y'all take care.
Yeah, we'll see you around. Don't die.
You neither.
Thanks. Vlatko goes, bye now.
Mosey back over to our table unless I get stopped along the way again.
Okay.
Probably not making a beeline. I'm probably gonna weave through the crowd just to see if I can pick something up. Like, if I make more of a... Don't want to make it overly obvious that I'm just milling through the crowd, but I just want to kind of more circular, as if I couldn't find a direct path.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would just make my way back, but not a beeline.
Okay. So you all have had some drinks, you've had a little conversation, you've had some food, even Muffalo has had some food. Is there anything else you guys would like to accomplish before turning in for the night, as the night draws on and the crowd starts fading a little bit as people finish their meals and their drinks and start heading home? The novelty is starting to wear off as the time goes by of being in the tavern.
Figure out who's sleeping where.
The gentleman that you described that was in the corner, is he someone that a person would remember if you saw him again? Is he a memorable character or no?
I mean, he looks like someone who's definitely high on something. He's like in his own little... He's just in his own world, and he looks more like an average kind of peasant-looking person, and he keeps taking some not so surreptitiously hidden sniffs from a box, and then just kind of leans back in his chair and stares at the owlbear, and then stares and has a conversation with something that's not there towards the wall. So
he doesn't look like he's sort of a black market dealer or something.
I mean, maybe
like that.
He just looks like someone who definitely is participating in some probably illegal activities, but because you brought up, like, you hinted towards like illegal activities, and you get the sense that the guard assumed you're looking for drugs, and she pointed you out to the nearest druggie. So do with that information what you will. He just looks like a dirty human peasant that is enjoying something from a tin box. Azrin. You cover your face a lot when I talk. I'm sorry I keep breaking you.
Hard to keep a straight face.
That's fair. So anyone like to do anything before turning in?
I don't think so. Not for me, anyway. I will, at some point, approach Dax and get a private room, and I'll pay for 2 nights up front.
Got it. Okay. So for private room, he is going to charge you. He tries to charge you 5 silver for. For a single room that would be less, 3 silver. Are you gonna try to haggle with him, or are you gonna accept the price?
I don't think I'll haggle with him for now. I'll just pay for. I guess it would be 6 for.
It'd be 6 for 2 nights. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the future, when we're a little bit more established, maybe, but not for now.
Okay. So go ahead and take note of that for me, if you will, that you've paid for 2 nights. The rest of you've paid for 1 night so far. I'll try to remember to take note on that later as well for myself.
So given, I think we got a room for Fudge and the Owlbear, and I presume that Kieran is thinking of sharing a room with.
Yeah, so there's
Sybil.
Well, there's a room. The room that was given to Fudge has a double bed and a twin in the room. And then there's a room with 2 twins, and now Seffi is. I mess up your character's name. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Cephas has their own. They've purchased their own room, so you could stay with Fudge and Muffalo. There's a twin available, or the double if he doesn't want the owlbear in there. But if you get Fudge the double, I imagine what's gonna happen. But
and
Fudge has the key to that room.
Mm-hmm.
Remember,
I'm
talks
not.
to him.
And you have yet to see Sybil lay down to sleep. She sits up. So
and if more of you want your own room, you can exchange rooms. It can make something else work. It's up to you.
Okay, I probably would talk to Sybil and Kieran and see if what would be possible with them, and if that doesn't work out, then probably she would leave. I don't think she would be comfy with the owl bear in the same room, so I think she, in that scenario, I don't know. I think she probably would look for a different room or something.
Well, I don't, let's say you guys had a chat and you guys take the room with the double and the twin and give Fudge and Muffalo the room with the 2 twins.
Yeah.
That way,
Someone's
that way
home
3
with
of
either
you
room.
can fit in one room, and then Fudge and Muffalo are in the other room, and Seffi has their own room.
Also, Sybil doesn't need a bed, so it doesn't matter which room she goes into.
Or Seph. I keep wanting to say like Seffi, like Sephiroth, and so it's like stuck in my head.
It's deliberately a slightly awkward name to say.
Deliberately. Okay. I see what you're doing there, Fox. Thanks.
Okay, we'll make this work then.
Okay, so we'll say you guys worked all that out. So you guys retire for the evening as the tavern itself quiets down, and people. Yep.
Sorry, when we do go down for the night, Sybil's going to intentionally sit up against the door when she goes into her rest.
Okay.
It's just she sits cross-legged on the ground in a meditative pose.
Okay, so you're not even taking a bed, so all right.
No,
that's
she's
fair.
just going to be a door blocker.
Okay. Door blocker is in place. And is Muffalo taking the other bed?
No, he doesn't. He ain't gonna sleep in a bed.
Okay, so there's just
Yeah.
an empty.
Yeah.
Kieran's gonna ask Sybil, like, you want a blanket or a pillow or something? That just doesn't look comfortable.
No, I mean, even before the metal, I more meditated than I did actually sleep. I mean, I'm sure you've seen elves do it before.
Yeah, that weird thing where they keep their eyes open. It's kind of creepy.
It's very similar.
Um,
I can see and hear everything, so.
So, when you guys move around, let's just say that, I think I said it was 3 silver for a single room, right? So if Muffalo is going to be sleeping on the floor, if you want to, you could say that Fudge just exchanged the room for another single if you want. So you guys can save a little money, get 2 silver back.
I will take 2 of my silver back.
Okay.
Totally cool.
So, and that pretty much is almost all of their rooms. Like, there's not too many rooms in this place. There's maybe a couple of others that have some other occupants, but you guys, it is now like a full tavern. And that's why he kind of wanted to maneuver and make use of that other room.
At some point before we retire, would there be an opportunity for me to share with the group the information that I've got? Well, like just generally, the scary stuff doesn't add much. The face adds a little bit, but then the whole piece about the automatons and who would have them, and the fact that they have been seen, but it hasn't been confirmed, and that normally they're attached to higher up military and so on, just to kind of round that piece out. Would there be an opportunity to do that?
I mean,
Yeah.
if you guys,
share that.
as you guys are kind of settling in for the night, I can imagine you kind of pulling people in for a moment and kind of debriefing. So we could say that happened for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So the night occurs. You guys get some rest. And okay. And then the morning comes. Big day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say Fudge and Muffalo are up doing their pre-morning workout, using using the bed as like a deadlifting object. So it's if any of their rooms are close by, you can probably hear the grunting and the clamoring of furniture.
4 people next to you. Wasn't even the party.
I mean, that kind of plays into what I was going to be doing. I was going to be getting up early, so I was probably awoken by the grunting and the banging. went downstairs into the tavern, sitting back at our table from the previous night if it's available, and keeping an eye out for Boric, the guide that we were told would meet us at the tavern in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Sybil's also probably up pretty early because she sleeps 6 hours instead of 8. And she probably tries to go downstairs and find a way to exchange the clothes that Kieran so kindly got for her and try and find like a blue sash or something to tie around her waist. That's her consolation.
Blue sash.
Yeah, something in like the one of the things he's dip-dyed with blue on it.
Okay. So it's like it starts as like a really dark midnight blue and then kind of like fades into the lighter shades of blue and then goes back.
That's fine.
Okay.
And she'll give him the used clothes so he can do what he wants with those. And
he gets excited. He's like,
yeah.
Oh, this is great. Yeah, I can do some fun things with this.
Yeah, after he was dissing my style last night, asshole.
Just the style on Sybil, not the style in general. And hoping to do just like a straight exchange. Give me these, you give me the sash.
Yeah.
Call it even.
That's fair.
Okay. And she'll tie that around her waist and probably at that time notice Cephas in the corner and go sit with her.
Okay.
Probably not a lot of conversation there though, because I'm not to.
Trying to make a decision about something in my head real quick.
Roll a die.
Okay, I made a decision. So, you guys see small figure comes into the tavern, those of you who are awake and downstairs at this time. And he has sort of like one of those, what do they call them? They're like those hats. There's their deer hunter hats or something where they've got the flaps and like the fur and stuff. So he's like wearing one of those and he's got like a fur coat kind of on, and he's a gnome. So a very small individual. And he's sort of like got this darker skin tone where it's almost like a gray, slightly bluish skin tone, and his eyes are almost like pitch black. But he looks around and then kind of sees Sybil and Cephas and looks at something in his hand and looks up at you and looks at the thing in his hand, looks up and kind of does this. Excuse me. Are you are you waiting for a guide to the minefield? Trinity told me to look for a group, but I only see 2, and I was told that there was 5 to expect.
There is more of us. Yes, we are waiting for a guide. They are still upstairs.
Oh no, your guide is. I'm the guide.
Yes, you are. No, the rest of us are still upstairs.
Oh, okay. I'm Boric, and he kind of holds out his little hand, and it's mittened.
Seth, and I just kind of like awkwardly grab his hand and just like hold it for a second and then let go.
And then he holds it out to you, Sybil. Boric.
Sybil. She'll shake his hand. Their cold metal one.
He can't feel it. He's mittens. He goes, all right, I'm going to get some sausage while I wait. And he just goes off and just walks around the bar into the kitchen, doesn't even wait for Dax to come out or anything. You hear some conversation, kind of muffled from the back. And then...
While he's back there, I'll drag another chair over to our table so he can join us.
Okay.
I'll probably... It won't take me long to get down there.
Okay.
In the morning.
Would we be able to sort of smell that breakfast was being prepared?
There's not really like a super strong smell.
Just even coffee would do it.
There's definitely coffee. Yeah. There's
yeah.
There's
So
definitely coffee.
Yeah. As soon as I could tell that there was activity
Mhm.
in the tavern, I would be up and dressed and down there.
Okay.
So I would join them shortly.
All right. So you head down. And
Yeah, Karen will do the same after she hears all the running around and stuff.
movement and everything. And you guys come down and you see that the sight of this gnome come on out, and he's just got his hand is just holding a sausage, and he's just kind of.
My question is, did he pull off his mitten before you decide to eat sausage?
No.
Oh, gross. Now he has sausage mitten.
Yes,
So
now he has
that's
sausage mitten.
juice.
Little regret
sausage
shaking his
juice.
hand.
It
And he just comes over and he kind of looks up at the chair, looks at his sausage, sticks it in his mouth, and then kind of climbs up the chair and plops down and continues eating his sausage. And he kind of counts you. 2, 3, 5. Go.
5 plus a muffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Can I eat first?
Plus
Because I think we're
Muffalo.
gonna have a long day.
All right, but make it fast.
Do we just go in the back and grab whatever we want?
I mean, that's what I do, but
Or you can eat some rations. You eat them on the go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, we
mean-
got some. Yeah.
he doesn't really make breakfast. And you notice the sausage is actually just raw.
Oh!
Now he has bloody sausage mittens. This is not getting any better.
And you notice that when he
No.
kind of talks, he's got pointed teeth. They're kind of sharp.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull out a ration and start nibbling on it.
I guess his rations.
Yeah. I'll look to see if there happens to be any baskets of buns or rolls or anything left on the table, and if there is, I would grab one of those. If not, I would just have a ration.
Yeah, there was bowls from peanuts that he had it kind of laying about the night before, but he keeps it very oh no, he wouldn't even have that actually in an area like this. So yeah, there's no food unless you order it. And he doesn't do a service breakfast. You do smell coffee, but it's not super strong. Maybe it was a personal cup that was made back in the kitchen for himself. So you guys can go and see if you can get Dax's attention or whoever might be back there. Apparently this gnome just walked back there and grabbed sausage and came out. So who knows what that situation is. Talk to somebody back there. But yeah, there's no continental breakfast here. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, for the price
All
we
right.
paid for these rooms, I totally expected one.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a chocolate jacks, because I mean, whatever. I mean, it's not like we don't have our own food, but I mean, still. And she just Kieran just is in a huff, just starts walking towards the door. She's just she's not happy. She wanted some breakfast.
Before we depart, Boric, is there anything we should prepare? Any equipment that we may need?
Weapon?
I think we all have that covered.
Mhm.
Good. Medic patch? Medic pack? You have bandage?
Yep.
We have a Kieran.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have a Kieran.
Various methods of healing.
A Kieran? What's a Kieran?
Points
Hi,
at Kieran.
Kieran.
The blonde
Yes,
He's
the
our
one that
hero.
is angry about breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
has medic pack.
Sure.
Yes.
More or
yes.
less.
Yes.
Good. Need medic pack. Need weapons. Go now.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, can you not eat that
like-
around us? Like, that's just,
It's just
like,
kind of
really?
blood dripping.
You watch your owlbear eat worse things than that.
Yeah, well, it's different with
How's it
Muffalo.
different? How's it any
Well-
different? Looks the same.
Muffalo kind of just eats it all in one big gulp. We don't have to sit and stare at him chew at it and nibble on it like it's a candy cane, okay? You know?
Depends on how big the item is that you fed him. This
Well,
is
we
what
usually-
muscle looks like to us.
Well, okay, fair, but still, it's still weird, okay? I'm just gonna point it out.
So I'm gonna chase after Boric as he starts leaving mid-conversation.
Mhm.
Also, is there a check that I can do to determine if this is normal behavior for whatever type of gnome he is, or perhaps maybe he's not actually a gnome?
Sure. Go ahead and what would this be? Cultural awareness roll.
Right? There's no
Yeah,
society roles in D&D.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no. That's a Pathfinder thing.
Give me a. I guess a history roll is the best thing that I can come up with that would fit.
Nature might work too.
I'm
depending
and I'm
on how you wanna
keeping in
find
mind
nature.
the DC in my mind is I'm keeping track of where you grew up and what you might have experienced there is helping set the DC.
Well, I think the DC is irrelevant in this case because I rolled a nat 1 for a total of 4.
Ugh. Okay. I mean, you've seen gnomes before, and you have heard, even in Al-Sharai, Al-Sharai is pretty mixed racially, although it tends more towards the beast races in general, but you see all kinds there, and gnomes are not fully uncommon. However, in the deserts, you've never seen one with that dark of coloring before, or the general features, the dark eyes, the sharp teeth, very unfamiliar to you. So you're not sure what's normal. You've this could be just a different, kind of coloring to a gnome. Like there's various colors to dragonborn and humans and elves. It could be just another variation, or maybe it is something completely different. You don't really have a basis of understanding.
Fair enough.
You did say it was summer, though, didn't you?
Sorry?
It's summer? Or am I taking this from Kieran getting a summer dress for Sybil?
Yeah, it's cold. It's kind of like chilly-ish weather. It's not hot weather.
Oh, okay,
It's,
all right.
You want to
never mind.
picture
Cold.
more like Eastern European kind of like chill gloom. Yeah, sort of close to fall. It's not winter, but it's definitely post-summer.
Oh, okay.
In terms
Yep,
of like
but-
seasons. Yeah. There's definitely
So-
like I think I described there was like this perpetual mist and kind of gloom, so it's definitely more on the chilly side here.
So the clothing wouldn't be ringing any bells that he was dressed inappropriately then.
Not necessarily. I mean,
okay.
it's not
Yeah.
so cold that you would need to wear a fur coat all the time. You don't see anyone else wearing mittens, so that is a little odd. Like maybe this guy just gets extra chilly for some reason. You're not sure, but he does seem a little bit oddly dressed, but there are people that wear, coats and things like that. It's just so it's not completely unusual, but you haven't seen anyone wear like little mittens and stuff.
Is there a check I can do to see if like this would kind of strike me as odd or trigger like a perception or something, or what would not really nature to know what the creature is, but more of a, isn't it odd that he's dressed so much?
I'll give that to you. You notice that as a character and you ask the right questions. I'm not going to block that behind a roll.
Okay.
You notice that he's wearing mittens when the weather is chilly, but doesn't really warrant full winter gear.
Okay, so Crystal will say to Boric, is it particular cold out there today, or do you just feel chilled? Should we be dressing warmer? I see you're dressed a lot warmer than we is.
No, not cold. Covers.
Is that like protection from something? Okay. You didn't say anything about us needing to wear protection. You just said armor or not armor. You just said gear and medic pack. Should we be wearing something special going out there?
A little chilly, but no. You, sun? Ow? The sun hurt you? Like me?
No. I'm good with the sun.
Most of the time, clouds. That's why I want to go when early. Still dark. Still clouds. Afternoon sun sometimes come out. Ow. No like.
All right.
Sensitive skin.
Okay. So Crystal will just leave it at that.
Okay. And he kind of continues walking. Those little black boots. And he's leading you guys kind of out of town. You follow a dirt road for quite a while. So a few hours go by. And finally you see the terrain kind of start to change pretty dramatically from the town where there's like established houses and there's some farmlands along the outsides. And then a lot of that starts to drop off fairly dramatically to where you get to some like ruined farmhouses that weren't ever rebuilt, that were burned down, other buildings that were just torn apart, and then nothing. And then you see like patches of trees and stuff like that, and then you get to a part where it's just an expanse of blank, just fields and some rolling mounds, but mostly it's just kind of flat land that as you're walking, the mud gets stickier as you're in your boots as you're walking through. It's almost completely just mud and muck, and you can see clear evidence of like there's like barbed wire and there's fences that were put up. You can see where some of the trenches are about to start. You see some like makeshift dugouts and things like that. As you get closer and closer, those things start to come into view. And like an outpost here and there that looks like it's been broken down and stuff like that. But further out, you can see where the trenches start to begin. And the barbed wire and the fencing is like broken up in places and stuff, but it's very clear evidence that you're now approaching what was once an active battlefield and is now just the smell as well hits you guys. It's this very putrid, rotting smell. So everything is just sticky as you walk, and it reeks. And the expanse of what you see in front of you is just bleak and creates an image of the horrors that took place there. As you go by, occasionally you see, as you guys get a little closer, your guide kind of slows things down and takes you along a path that leads you through some of the barbed wire, approaching a little closer, and he cautions you to start moving, stepping where he steps, and makes you guys kind of go more single file as you're starting to head into the more core area where the battlefields were.
As we approach this area, I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself before I forget and bad things happen.
Yep.
And once we start to slow our pace and go single file, I'll kind of tap Bork on the shoulder to get his attention. We were told that among the regular explosives and mines in this area, there are some that are of slight arcane nature, magical. Do let me know when we approach the areas where they begin, and I can perhaps detect them.
Close. We'll tell you.
Once we start entering the battlefield, Sybil's just going to stop breathing altogether, just in case something comes out with poison and other nasties.
Okay.
Require breathing in.
And looking in the distance, you guys can see areas where there were some mortars that hit in this area and created these big, like sometimes when you walk, you go up on a raised portion every now and then that gives you a little bit more of a view. And you see some of these mortar holes are filled with this sickly green gaseous, can't say the word, gaseous, I don't know. You know what I'm saying. Gaseous, yeah, thank you. Like substance that seems to be kind of bubbling up and, well, not necessarily bubbling, but it's almost like a mist. But it flows up from the center of these mortar holes, and then flows over the sides a little bit. And you see that kind of in the direction you're heading. And he continues kind of winding you through until he gets to a point where he turns around and kind of points. Bomb said to be somewhere between these two posts. And he indicates pretty a wide range of field that includes some of these mortar holes. There's a creek that kind of winds through part of it, and a trench, a couple of trenches. And he kind of indicates the area to look. I'm not going. You go that way. Follow this fencing over to those two posts. Look for bomb. I stay here.
How familiar is Sybil with this type of bomb?
Give me a history check, because you were not necessarily an artillery specialist.
Yep.
But
just want to know how much she's seen them or where she is. Not bad. That's a 16.
Okay. The necromines came after your time. Yeah. But and they were brief in their use. But the other explosive that you heard of, it could be one of a few different types that you've experienced, but you're not exactly sure which one it might be. But based on the information you have so far, where it's more mechanical based, explosive, you've seen a couple like that, and usually their proximity or vibration set off, and the blast radius on average is usually anyone within like a 10-foot radius to the mine.
I meant the bomb that we're looking for.
Oh, the bomb that you're looking for. You know nothing about that. Sorry. Okay. That was specifically for like the equivalent of the Air Force.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you wouldn't know about that. The only thing you would know is that it has an arcane crystal, which was that information was given to you guys, and that you know that when those dropped, people didn't, if you were within there was different kinds that dropped. The one that you're hearing about was rare because it's very expensive to make. And it's extremely destructive. That was usually a city bomb that they sent down to trash entire neighborhoods. And that's what you would know.
With the vague description of the thing we're looking for that we got from the mayor, can I attempt to locate object?
You don't have enough detail. Sorry.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where it's like, yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't have enough detail. You've seen the aftermath of it. That's pretty much it.
Remember, Kieran asked if there were blueprints, but they said they were in the warehouse, but it's dangerous right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're possibly in the factory. Yeah.
Yeah, and no one had a non-working version of one of them.
Yeah.
To be examined.
Yeah, I remembered that. I just wasn't sure if we got enough.
I mean, at least no one that you asked. Yeah, no one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So Boric goes and he kind of just has a seat in the mud. Good luck.
Cool.
I'm gonna cast Vigilant Blessing on Sybil, since she has the most advantageous abilities in this area, and I'm presuming either her or Fudge are gonna be at point. So
Okay.
I'll probably lead us out to like where he initially got us to, but I don't. Once we get over to there, then we'll have to decide like how we're gonna move. Because we don't know where the bomb's at yet, right? Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you guys over to a map, and then we're gonna have you guys move. I'm gonna put you in an initiative order, so if you guys could go ahead and roll for initiative for this portion, as it is of import where you step. And I'll bring us on over to the map. Bring your tokens.
And I'll save the Vigilant Blessing because I don't want to. I want to use that for in case something goes down.
There's the turn order thing. Okay. Tokens. Whoops. Nope, I didn't realize I was on the map layer. Okay.
go back to the map layer and do a Control Z because the fog clouds are moved.
What is going on?
All the things are happening.
Oh, because I accidentally moved it, and I guess it was actually on the token layer at one point. Let's see. We move. I hate this particular map had the grid, but you know what? I'm just going to move it to the token layer. That way we don't have to deal with the messy. For some reason, that's clean. Okay, this is all messed up. Hold on. What is happening? What did I do?
Touched everything.
I did. Go there.
How dare you?
Okay. Nope. Okay, that's gonna drive me nuts. Can I really not have that on the map layer? Why does it show? Is there a way to turn off?
Yeah, you have to turn off the grid from the gear on the page.
But then you guys won't know where it, because it's gonna actually click you.
You can always change the color of the grid so it stands out from the one that's actually on the map image itself.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I thought I had this like fixed, but since I moved everything around, it's all.
Trust me, I feel your pain. Like every Pathfinder, like every old Pathfinder map has the grid lines already on it, and trying to freaking line up the grid lines is freaking nightmare.
Yeah, yeah. But I really liked this map that I found. I wanted to use it because it has all the things I wanted on it. Okay, I'll try to change the color so we can at least see where you guys can step.
If we change the color, we'll know which color to follow.
There, pink. Follow the pink. Sorry about it looking a little messy. Let me bring our audience over. Sorry about that, audience. You don't even see the craziness that was happening there, which is maybe for the best. All right, let's add you guys. Add turn. And also what you guys are also seeing, let me move you guys where you are at.
I can't put my thing in.
Yeah, I think some of us don't have control over our tokens.
What? Did I drag and drop from? Nope, yours is fine. That one's fine. Oh, okay. That one's not fine.
I'm the only one who gets a turn order. Sorry.
How did I have... wonder why it's not letting me give Muffalo access to you. Let me put give Fox has got sub. I thought I had done this last time. I don't know why the tokens are freaking out. I must have grabbed them from somewhere else.
You can keep Buffalo out of the tracker if you want, because he just goes on my initiative anyways.
Are you able to move him though? Like, I don't think you have access to him for some reason.
No, that I can't do. No, I can't move him.
Does it? Let's see.
Like if you edit the Muffalo token,
I think because he's an actual token, like he's an actual monster token, but it's not letting me assign him.
No, you can do that.
The option's not popping up underneath name. It just says controlled by, determined by character settings. I don't know what that even. It's really weird.
Maybe delete him and re-import just the one.
Yeah, let me see.
Off the last map that we used. So he had control on the battle map at the farm.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if you copy that one over, I'll copy the control.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Did I just delete the tracker? Oh god, it's doing... Why is it showing all of the things that I'm doing? Oh, on screen, because it's showing me.
Yep.
Well, we'll go back to there while I figure this out. So you guys don't see all the things.
Please pardon us for our technical difficulties.
Yep.
It's not a professional stream until we get something wrong.
Okay, so I know why you weren't seeing the thing that you wanted to see. You were clicking the cog on the token, right? Bring up the token settings.
I think I was just double clicking it, but...
Yeah, so you'll want to do it from that token's character sheet. So if you hold shift and double click the Muffalo token, it should open Muffalo's character sheet. And then from there, you hit edit in the top right of the character sheet.
Okay.
And then that should allow you to assign for journals and control.
Now it's just not doing any of it. When we bring up the character sheet. Why must you be like this? There it is. Now it's just really slow for some reason. Okay. So I'm in the character sheet.
There should be an edit button in the top right of the character sheet.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, so you hit that edit button, and then there's where you can assign it to players.
Yay, thank you. Save changes.
Yeah, I can move him now.
Cool, yay. You guys can all move yourselves. So you're coming in from a small pathway that's edging on this trench right over here. So that's where you're going to come in from. So just tell me the marching order, and then we'll have you guys, come in from this point where I have Kieran at right now.
Kieran's going to be in the middle.
I'll be side by side with whoever's up front, because I'll be doing detect magic.
Still would probably take the lead, having used to looking out for these mines.
And these are 5-foot squares, right?
Thanks for the follows. Yeah, they're 5-foot squares.
Sorry, what'd you say, Sybil? What were you doing?
Sybil will probably take the lead if someone else really has an argument not to. She's used to looking for these mines. So.
Oh gosh, the tracker went away, didn't it?
Yep. Oh, you brought it back. Sweet. Just
Roll 20 is going stupid slow. I don't know if it's my computer or what's happening, but
It's probably roll 20.
okay. So we can see you guys down at the bottom there. I'm gonna just push that off to the side.
Well,
Okay.
you've got who at point right now? Fudge?
Sybil and Cephas.
Okay. And I will say you guys also see in this space, as you guys approach, as you're walking, you saw little bits of this as well. But as you guys were walking and approaching this spot, you see like all of the caked mud and stuff. You see like the dead are basically all over the place, and it's not apparent immediately, but as you look a little closer, you see a hand kind of poking out from the mud. You see a portion of face kind of hidden, half hidden, and peeking out from one of the like sides of the trenches. Like, it's pretty gruesome as you go. But it's not like immediately evident. You have to kind of look, and as you gaze over, you see something in the ground that's just not what it's supposed to be. And as you focus in on that point, you notice like, oh, that's a body part, or that's someone's remains. So I won't go into gruesome details in case it's a trigger for anybody watching, but this is a place of death, very clearly evident. And you can hear some distant sounds of some activity, some creatures that when you look out on the fields, you kind of see some pockets of creatures kind of moving about, but they're a little far away to try to get details on at the moment.
What are the holes that were pointed out to us?
So you see a hole, there's a mortar hole sort of in front of you guys that you can clearly, you see sort of this green gas kind of coming up out. You're right beside a trench. So this is the trench. These are like the mortar holes.
Didn't our guide point out, like, maybe there were holes, maybe I misheard, maybe it was holes, but did he point out two things to look between?
So what you don't see off of this map, because remember, maps only give you part of the scene. A lot of this is theater of the mind too. So picture also that there's like barbed wire and there's posts, and occasionally there's some posts that have some symbols on them, markers, numbers. And he pointed out, he indicated some posts that basically section out this space. So the area that you see on Roll20 is the general section that he indicated to you, that he was told the bomb is somewhere between these two posts that you don't see. They're off screen, but indicate that somewhere in this map is this area that you see on Roll20 is the bomb.
Okay.
Sorry, let me show you guys that. I just want to... I hate that I can't, like... The struggle is real, guys, when you're streaming and you're trying to, like, bring over tokens of monsters, but you don't want people to see them. So
okay, we don't need monsters. There's no monsters needed here.
So I apologize if I keep having to flip back over to the player screen, but I'm trying to bring over some tokens that I couldn't hide on the GM screen because you guys would be able to see that on the stream. But you are able to see some movement in some areas, and I wanted to add some of that is before we get fully started. And we are, like, you know, we're going to be ending at 11:30, so we'll get as far as we can get. This is definitely going to continue on into next time, because this is kind of like a slow process. But sort of over by this gathering of rocks, you see a collection of some beasties. You hear... I'm gonna put some... Here, I'm just gonna delete him. So I accidentally brought him. I just wanted 3 right now. And there's a lot of places where there's mounds of mud and muck and bodies in different places peeking out. So it doesn't look as clean and flat as you see here. So as you guys were looking out, you kind of heard some noises. And as you start maneuvering forward, that's when you start to see like some of these creatures kind of peek out and look. So far this is all you see, but there's a lot of these places where it's like a little hilly, a little hard to see. So there could be more creatures out of sight. There could be some in the trenches or in the mortar holes. You're not sure. So I just want you guys to be aware of the surroundings in terms of like what you see on the map and theater of the mind. You're kind of hearing some sounds in different places, but so far visually, you guys are just picking up on those from the positions that you're in right now. Okay? So going in kind of initiative order, you guys can tell me kind of what you would like to do. It could be, you know, if you want to take some movement to look around, you can. If you want to do something to try to help the group or to help someone else with something, just let me know. But basically this is the challenge, is navigating your way through a dangerous minefield with these hazards while potentially avoiding creatures or having to attack and deal with creatures, and while finding a bomb. So there's a couple of objectives. There's dealing with the creatures, avoiding exploding or getting damage, avoiding poison, and finding the explosive device. So there's several things to keep in mind for this challenge. So starting us off is Fudge and Muffalo. What would you guys like to do?
I mean, I just want to start moving forward, really. I'd like to... So the little guy kind of pointed out a path, right? Like he said, go here and then follow the fence line, right?
Yeah, and that has led you to this point.
Oh, led us to this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so
he indicated somewhere in this area is where the bomb is. Before we go too heavily into this, actually, so sorry to cut you off. Should we take our second and last break? Let's do that real quick. Good. Let's say a few minutes. Refresh your drinks, stretch, and then we'll come back and finish out our session today and definitely be continuing later. So everybody will be right back. Please stay tuned, and we'll see you shortly. right, and we're back. Hello.
Hello.
I'll bring us back over to the map. All right, Fudge.
Okay, new plan. I am going to reach up for my holy symbol and pull it out from underneath my armor.
Symbol.
It's like a little
Miliki.
yes, yeah, a little symbol Miliki, and it's gonna glow a little bit. And he's going to cast Pass Without a Trace. And as he does it, he's just gonna that little energy is gonna glow, and it's gonna hold in his hand, and he's gonna kind of just toss it up into the air, and it's gonna spread out over all of us, and like kind of like a camouflage, like green and black energy, just kind of like settle on the top of us, and we'll all just kind of slowly blend into our surroundings.
And that is for everyone within what distance from you? Was it like 30 feet? I know it's like ridiculous.
30 feet of you, yes.
Yeah. So anyone within 30 feet, which is, yeah, like I said, ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Gets a +10 to their stealth.
Yep.
And on top of what we already have.
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
Pass Without Trace is bomb.
Pass Without Trace. I want us to get through this okay. So.
Well, your paladin thanks you with her -1 to stealth and disadvantage.
I have a +1 to stealth at disadvantage, so we're like almost the same.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
+6 to stealth normally.
Yeah, it's real nice for the dexterous types.
Yeah, you're gonna have +16 to any stealth check, so you're gonna be sitting pretty.
Well, the way I roll, yeah, I hope so. I may need it.
Okay, so I'm going to assume that you're stealthing. Do you want to give me a stealth check to establish that if you're planning on moving in any direction here?
Yeah, me and Muffalo are just gonna be stealthing. So I will roll for me. That is going to be thankfully with Pass Without a Trace gets me to a 17.
Okay.
With disadvantage. And then Muffalo, need to bring his stats up.
And use his companion stats, not the owlbear.
Yes,
I'm
using the Beast of the Land stats for him.
Cool.
He is. Okay, so.
Yeah, for anyone, our audience members wondering, like, how did a ranger get an owlbear as a companion? We story-wise, he's a runt of an owlbear, so he's using the normal, like, Tasha's version of a ranger companion stats. So we've just flavored him a little bit differently. Instead of a normal bear, he's an owlbear.
So Muffalo got a 28 to stealth. So
28 to stealth. Okay.
Yeah. I think
It's all those feathers. He's quiet. He's really sinking into his owl side.
He's getting real low to the ground, as gross as it is, and is so am I. And what I'll do is I'll just have my shield out and spear out, and I'm just kind of like Spartan moving forward essentially with Muffalo.
Okay.
I'm not gonna move very far. I'm just gonna step like right up to here and follow under the trench line.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of wait for the other two who are more specialized in this moment.
Okay, so you're kind of give me a perception check since you've moved more towards the edge of the trench.
Sure. That is a 17.
You catch sight of a few more creatures down in the trench.
I'm just gonna. I think that's Sybil that's next to me, right? Or is that? Oh no, that's Cephas. Okay, Cephas. I'm just gonna whisper over that. Bogey's in the trench.
She'll just give you a silent nod to acknowledge that she heard.
And that'll be it for me.
Okay. And Sefthi?
So, moving into this area, I am going to cast Detect Magic, and I can do that at will. So, like without using a spell slot. So, as long as I maintain concentration, it just keeps going.
Okay. And that is a radius of...
I believe it is 30 feet. Let me double check. Yes, 30 feet.
Can you set an aura on yourself for that, or do I need to do that for you?
I believe I can set an aura, but you would have to set it so that everyone can see it.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Okay, let me do that then.
Can you do that for Pass Without a Trace with me too?
Yeah, we could do that, I think.
Cool.
Diagram returns.
So for Detect Magic, sorry, it was what again?
30 feet.
Oh, also 30 feet. Okay. So we'll do like a bluish tinged aura for that. Fudge, I think you're good. I'm just, if people start getting a little too far away, I'll add. Otherwise, we're gonna have like all these auras up.
That's fine. I don't see the aura on my screen.
You could see it on the stream.
Oh, okay.
So that way.
It's kind of cheating though because we get to see a DM screen.
On the
Yeah.
screen. Most of us intentionally don't
I
look
kind
at
of
it.
assume you look okay. Well,
I pop my chat out and put it in a different area.
this particular aura is more for me anyway. So, I think you're all right.
So once that's active, as far as movement goes, I want to
Give me a
keep
sec.
pace.
Give me a
Okay.
second, because this might affect your movement. Because some things are gonna ping for you right now, since you've done that detect magic.
Okay.
You're feeling a just a faint, like it's just outside your radius slightly, but there's something kind of there. Can you see what I'm drawing?
I can't. Yep.
The X is popping up. Okay.
Yep.
And then, okay, that's the only one that's popping up so far for you.
Okay. So I would like to keep pace with Sybil, if possible, like move when she moves, because I'm kind of relying on her for the visual aspect of these mines, and I'm just kind of there to point out to her where the magical pings are.
Okay. So are you gonna hold your movement for when she moves, basically?
Yeah, if I
I'll
can
allow
do
that. Yeah, I'll
then-
allow that. That's fine. This is like a weird wibbly wobbly situation. All right, that's it for you.
Yep.
Okay, Sybil.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to, as we're heading into the areas where we can hear creatures all around, in case a fight breaks out, I'm going to turn around to Crystal. Can I see your weapon for a moment?
Sure. You mean the waiter?
Yes.
And
One of
she'll
these
hand it
ones.
over.
And then I'm going to cast upon it magic weapon. Hang on, let me pull over. I don't have a higher level, so you can ignore the higher level part.
Oh,
So I just popped it in the
Oh,
the 20
thank
so
you. Wow.
I touch a non-magical weapon until the spell ends. The weapon becomes magic with a +1 bonus to attack rolls and damage rolls. So it makes her widow a magical weapon.
Oh,
So that lasts for an hour. I do have to maintain concentration on it though. So yeah. So I don't get hit too badly.
okay. I'll take it back and very quietly acknowledge and thank Sybil for that.
Great, and that's a bonus action spell, so.
Well, gotta love those bonus actions.
Yep. So then I would like to kind of move in this type of direction, but I want to hopefully use an action to take whatever role you want to look for the signs of these mines and adjust my path when I notice one. That's the general direction I want to head, but...
So move just, 1 square at a time as you move forward.
Okay.
And give me a perception check or investigation depending on how you're approaching looking out for things.
Probably more on the investigation side. I want to take my time to really look
for
these. Die. Ooh, okay. That's a natural 20 for 20.
Got it.
So you make room for... Is this about where it starts sloping down into this crater?
So I will say that even with
I have to come in.
Even with the natural 20, I'm not going to show you stuff that's like further in the map, but I'm going to go based on like your immediate vicinity.
Yeah.
In terms of like the path that you've chosen to walk. So which direction are you going?
Let me pop it up. I would like to go. Hang on. Here we go.
And it starts sloping. To answer your question, it starts sloping.
Directly in front of me.
Yeah, where it kind of looks like it. Yeah, directly in front of you is where it starts sloping down.
Just want to make sure it wasn't one of those things that was.
You can edge like around here, but you're getting very close to the trench there.
I mean, Sybil would probably survive falling in, but she doesn't want to take the time to fall in. So probably about. Can you see that path that's up there? On the Warp 20?
No.
Not visible? Okay, hang on. Let me mark it a different way.
You can just move your character like forward. Oh, there we go. I can see that.
So about there.
Okay.
Kind of the general direction, unless she notices something.
Yeah, everything looks pretty clear from what you can tell. However, you see like there's some wisps of the green that are starting to that kind of like flow out of the trench along that path, but you don't see any mines.
Okay.
So as you walk through that area, I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Okay. Is this for the gas?
This is for the gas, so it's for a poison effect. So if you get advantage, you can roll that with advantage. If you have resistance, then...
Does it require breathing? Because she's not breathing right now.
It doesn't matter. It's corrosive.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I figured.
Yeah.
I figured I'd ask.
Yeah. It goes into your organs, pores, whatever it can get into. It's nasty stuff.
You said saving throw?
Yep.
That's a 17.
Okay, so you don't... It doesn't affect you. I don't even think you probably would notice it, given your resistance and stuff. So, and you're not breathing, so you don't smell it. You just see it, but it doesn't have any effect on you. Yeah. You walk through just fine.
I'll move and let Sethis move as they want to.
Yeah, I'd kind of let you take a 5-foot advancement as we go. And then as you clear the path, I keep up with you.
Okay, and can you also give me a Constitution saving throw since you're following her path?
Right here. Yep.
Sorry.
That's gonna be 14.
Okay. It smells really bad. You kind of try to hold your breath. You feel your skin feels like it's getting irritated. Like you have an urge to kind of scratch at it, but you don't take any ill effects beyond just general irritation.
Okay.
All right. Crystal.
Okay. So I am going to have the widow out. I'm going to be looking through the drow scope on it to see if I detect any heat signals. I'm going to try to stealth, and I am going to follow that same path to end up probably just, I think, there.
Okay, and give me a Constitution saving throw as you follow that path.
Okay, do you need a stealth throw too, or stealth or no?
Yes, I do need a stealth from you, and Sefthi, could you give me a stealth roll as well if you believe you've been stealthing? Thanks for the reminder.
Okay, so my stealth is 19.
Okay.
Is that with the plus 10?
Yeah, that's with a plus 16. No,
Oh, okay.
Just a minute. No, it would have been a bit higher, I guess. Okay, my dice landed on the floor here, but I've got it. So it's so let's see. That was okay. A con save.
Mhm.
That would be 18.
Okay. Same thing. You feel kind of like an irritation, the urge to maybe cough a bit, but no ill effects. Cephas, what was your stealth roll?
27.
Okay. You guys are all good so far. Nothing seems to have been alerted to your presence yet.
Do you want a stealth roll from Sybil, though, is the question.
Yes. Sorry, I thought you would. I did not get one from you. One from Sybil as well, please.
0. Oh, sorry, plus 10. 10.
Oh, jeez.
That was a natural one. So, do with that what you will.
Clank, 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 clank,
Yeah.
clank,
Yeah,
clank.
no, Sybil is not quiet. She usually just makes 0 attempt to be quiet because it just clanks. Sometimes she gets a squeak.
Emerging from the trench, a creature, you see like this clawed, gnarled hand like grip up and start pulling itself up out of the trench, attracted by the sound that it heard. And it kind of moves forward, so I'm going to add it to the tracker here as it has been alerted. I'm going to put it... We'll say this happened after Sybil's turn, so we'll put it on after Sybil. So, I'm going to say that it doesn't have an action. It took all of its time to pull itself out of the trenches, and it's now, like, in front of you, Sybil. But it's not going to have an action to actually attack until things come back around. But now you guys are engaged in something as well that's been alerted to your presence. And maybe some other things, but you can't see.
Fair enough.
And so that brings us back to Crystal. Sorry to was moving things around there. Is there anything else you wanted to do? I'm gonna change the music.
Would I still have okay, so I moved and I did 2 checks. Would I still have an action?
So you did your stealth check. That's fine. I just need that as associated with your movement. And then what was the other check that you just did?
I did the con save.
That is almost like a reactionary. That doesn't impact your action. Basically, that's stuff that I asked you for because of environmental situation.
So does it would appear that this creature is going to engage us, right?
Definitely, yes.
Okay, all right. So I guess then I am going to fire on it.
I'm just
My
trying to
eardrums.
find
My poor eardrums.
what.
She uses your shoulder as like a stabilizer.
Yep.
She's just like,
Just go for the metal ear, not the fleshy ear. That's all I ask.
I can tell you as someone who, when he has the opportunity, shoots recreationally. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
if you're
now
not wearing your protection.
I'm just trying to think here. I know the blunderbuss I can fire at point blank range. Do I have to have a distance to fire the widow or no?
The widow for sure. That's definitely more of a long range rifle. So if you wanted to take a shot at these other figures that you see, you could, but you risk alerting them if they're not already alerted.
No, just the one that's close. So I guess what I would do then, actually,
you still have movement, so you could potentially back up, and then...
You know, how far do I have to back up to get so that I can use it then?
For the Widow, I would back up a couple of spaces at least.
Would you be happy with that?
Yeah, I think you could probably make that work.
Okay, yeah. So that's what we're gonna do then. All right. So, because I get a +1 to my attack in addition to my normal.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that would be, let's see. So that would be a 14, I believe.
14 to hit?
Yeah.
Okay, that, let me see, I did adjust something on him. So 14 does hit.
Okay.
You also get a +1 to damage.
Okay, so that would then be a 1d12 +4. Maybe I'll get lucky and roll some high numbers here. Not terribly great. So that would be 7 damage.
The most important thing, though, is it's now magical damage.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, people can see that. That's not accurate. For those who can see the screen, I have adjusted stats on some of these creatures, so I'm going to just use a tracker on my own because that doesn't even reflect the right things. Not exactly.
And
so 7 damage, correct?
Yeah, and I
Got it.
believe I now get, I think I get 2 attacks at level 5, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I will try again.
Yeah, go for it.
So that is a 13.
That misses.
Oh, okay.
That was with your +1.
And his, like,
Yeah.
he kind of, like,
Rolling
moves
crap.
quickly, and his big, long, lulling tongue kind of whips around as he looks over at you after hitting him. All right, that's it for Crystal. Kieran, what would you like to do?
Oh bother. I wish I had a higher. I wish I had a higher initiative because she had a really good plan, but now that plan is not going to be a thing because everyone is doing the thing, and yeah,
Shit happens. Yep.
shit happens. So, no one looks like they're. So it's just the one enemy that looks like it's coming after us currently, correct?
Yeah, so far it seems to be the only one that you can see visually that seems to have been alerted by Sybil's movement. The others in the distance still seem to be occupied with whatever they're devouring right now. They haven't, when you look up and across over to them, they don't seem to have been alerted. However, once the gunshot sounds across the battlefield, you do see that their heads kind of go up, but they haven't quite spotted you guys yet. But they have been alerted once the gunshot goes off. So they may start... You get the sense that things might start heading over to investigate the sound, even if they visually haven't clocked you yet.
Okay. So let's see. So I can here.
Things are about to get interesting.
Alrighty. So I know what I'm gonna do. So she's like, F this noise. So as an action, she's going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Nice. Oh. Good call. Definitely need an aura on you for that one. What's the radius for that?
Oh, just oh, I mean display and okay. Put the wrong one. Here we go. Display. There we go.
What's the radius on that spell? Oh, your display. Sorry, I asked you the question, but you.
It's a 15-foot.
Okay.
So this is, okay. It emanates from me in a 15-foot radius. Oh, I mean, sorry, it's a sphere. Well, I mean, it's still a radius, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it just means that it encompasses around. It's up and down if you were to be floating in the air in terms of a sphere, but.
Or the enemy was floating in the air.
Yeah.
And then she's going to move. That's 30 feet.
Okay.
And then.
And are you moving in that exact pathway where it's just straight across, straight through?
Yeah, because I can't really move through Muffalo and Fudge, so I have to go up and over, then back down.
Okay, then you're good.
All right, and then so I am there. Features you see to be unaffected, and I'm basically, picking the party to be unaffected. And when a creature enters the area for the first time, so when a creature enters the area for the first time or starts its turn there, they have to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Got it.
So that would be this guy and that guy.
Okay, so that would be. Don't think these guys are very wise. Nope. So one got a 17. The one up top in front of Sybil got a 17. The one below got a 13.
All right, so the 17 is going to be. Necrotic. So so I'm presuming they're evil, so they're going to take necrotic damage. The one who got the 17 is going to save for half. My spell DC is a 15 right now, so.
What do you mean they're evil? They're just misunderstood. No.
They're just coming up for friendly chat. We're the ones who started fighting.
Such a shit roll. God. That's fine. So that's 8, 9. So 9 if you failed. 4 or 5. I'm not sure how you do the half. If they succeeded.
Okay, got it. Gotta love Spirit Guardians. Anything else for you?
I'm just checking my bonus actions real fast. Yeah, you don't have any bonus actions I can use, so
okay.
I am done.
Okay. That brings us back to the top of the round, but I think this is really a good place for us to pause our game tonight. At the top of our round, starting with Fudge next turn, or next game session. So, this is going to be a really interesting battle now. I was anticipating you guys getting a little bit further in, but this is awesome. I'm excited to see what happens as activity increases in this area and things start coming towards you. I'm kind of sad mine didn't go off yet. I really want you guys to see what happens when those go off, but maybe soon.
Okay. The zombies can hit them on their way down. It's good.
Oh, they're for sure going to, because they're very dumb, and I'm just having them go in the straightest path to whatever interests them. So that's likely. We'll see that coming up next game. So please, everybody who joined us today, stay tuned. We'll be back. We do this game every other Monday. So next session will be July 25th. So tune in then. If you missed some of our previous episodes, you can check them in our VODs on our channel, and in the future, I don't know where we're at with the YouTube right now, but in the future
should
there.
be all caught up except for Destiny and Forge.
Awesome. Okay. So you can check out previous videos on our YouTube channel for Behold Roleplay. And yeah, hopefully we don't I'm gonna make extensive notes and rewatch the VOD so I can remember where we're at with this battle. If I could just have you guys as players take note of what you have active right now, like Pass Without a Trace, Spirit Guardians, like make note of what you have active. Crystal, I do need you to start keeping track of your bullets, so we'll talk about what you have in stock, like on you right now, which would be like a normal set of ammunition and then the special bullets that you have. So I meant to talk to you about that earlier, but we'll talk to you about that off stream. Everybody else, please check out our other shows that we have going on. So right now on Tuesdays we have is Into the Wildlands, correct? My brain is dying tonight.
Into the Wildlands Part 2. Next episode is tomorrow.
Awesome. So tune in tomorrow for that. And I need to catch up on the last episode for that one. It's been a crazy week. I haven't had time to do anything. And we also have alternating Saturday shows. We've had to take a bit of like off time for our Withered Waste shows, but I think we're going to be coming back with it. It's this Saturday, right? That Withered Waste is coming?
I believe so, yeah.
And then next Saturday will be Wayward Wanderers, which as are in DMs, so check that out. And, you know, more programming is always popping up here and there. So please stay tuned, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I know I'm forgetting something, but I'm going to let it go. My brain is dying. So I hope you guys all had fun, and thank you so much, and have a great night, guys. Have a good week. Bye.
I'm waving like you can see me.